is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Good evening and welcome to the Oklahoma Sports Network. District play is underway tonight for the Dell City Eagles as they will take on the Collinsville Cardinals tonight. I'm Colton Fleetwood alongside Gordy Jones, producer Blake Unruh, Jacoby Brosi, and Cedric Brosi on the camera. On the field, we have a special guest with us tonight. We have our new sideline reporter. We're excited to have her. She is a student over at OU, and she is going to be on to doing big things in her future. Her name is Peyton Davis, and so we will be sending it to her here in just a little bit once Coach Jones is ready for an interview. Now, it does look like they've got a special presentation that they'll be doing tonight, so we will have to hold off and see how that goes first. But while we get underway, I want to just tell you about our Countdown to Kickoff sponsor. It is Precision Nutrition of Dell City. For all your nutrition needs in one shaker tea, come to Precision Nutrition. It's located at 4603 Southeast 29th Street in Dell City. You can order over the phone as well if you give them a call at 405-672-0999. Now, Gordy, while I think they're getting ready to do a special presentation, possibly. So I am actually going to just step away for just a moment here, folks, find out what's going on, and then we'll be right back on the air. We're not going to go to break. We're just going to turn off our microphone just for one moment to get an idea of what we're going to be doing. Give us one moment on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Alrighty, folks, Colton Fleetwood and Gordy Jones back with you here. So we are going to have a special presentation here in just a moment for Dell City, and we'll get to that. We're going to present that to you so that way you can hear it. Before we do that, I want to quickly tell you about our keys to the game tonight. Tonight's keys to the game is brought to you by Keyline Mag. The stars of tonight's matchup aren't just winning on the field, they're hitting the headlines too. Keyline Mag will be featuring these amazing athletes, such as Josiah Chester last week, our player of the game. So check it out at www.keylinemag.online.com and subscribe for updates. Gordy, let's go ahead and get the keys to the game tonight. What do you got?
All right, thanks, Colt. I'll give you these keys to the game, of course, brought to you by Keyline Mag. The first point I got tonight, Colt, we got 3 points and 3 keys, of course. I'm sorry about that. But give you those first 3 keys. It's time to lock it in. In Game 4 is where you clean up any mistakes or any misunderstandings of assignments. And like I said before, we should all be on the same page by now. So, it's time to lock it in. It's time to go ahead and become a unit and get together and make sure that we are all on the same page. The second key to the game that I have today is let's respect the record of the opponent. We're going to face Collinsville tonight. They are coming in at a 3-0, so there are not a lot of room for mistakes. So, again, we must continue to build on what has been successful, tighten up on all penalties and possessions. Like I said before, that'll always lead to success on the field. The last key that I have today, a balanced passing and run game to be dominant or effective. Last week, the passing game was decent, but it has to be better. Putting the team, and putting these receivers in better position. Coach Jones really wanted to get these receivers involved in the game last week, but the key to the game this week is to, like I said, have that balance between Caleb Blackwolf and the rest of the backfield with Rickland Holmes. Like I said, a balanced passing game and a balanced passing attack will lead to success, and that will be Gordy Jones's 3 keys to the game.
Thank you, Gordy. And now we are going to send it down to the end of this for Deshaun Chatham. Of course, was tragically taken away from us too soon after the end of last season. And
we just want to let Ms. Good know that on behalf of Middale Schools, Dell City football dedicates the entirety of the 2025 season in your son's honor. Please know that his memory and positive spirit will live with all of us forever. Thank you.
Yeah, Gordy, I told this story earlier this season about JJ, and I never did really get to know JJ very well.
Right.
I met him very briefly, but John Kilty last season told a story, and it was one of my favorite stories that he used to always tell about JJ would see him in the hallways, and whenever he would see him in the halls, JJ would say, "Hey man, when you call my name, you got to put some oomph on it, and he'd say, "I want it to be like, hey, this is JJ Chatham," and so John would always do that for him, and that story has kind of stuck with me. Of
Right.
course, just a terrible situation, but you know what? I think many of you at home probably watching know that he's sitting here with us tonight watching, and he's proud of his teammates and pulling for them. He's got the best view in the house, and doesn't make it any easier for anybody here, but he's missed, and this is a cool tribute from Dell City to him. So, folks, we'll take a break. We'll come back here in just a few moments. We'll have the coin toss coming up soon. I want to remind you we are on the countdown to kickoff brought to you by Precision Nutrition of Dell City. And again, for all your nutrition needs in one shake or tea, come to Precision Nutrition at 4603 Southeast 29th Street in Dell City. We'll be right back. You're watching Eagle Football District Play on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the Works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Loading onto our conveyor belt is incredibly low stress and easy. The conveyor belt can fit vehicles up to 96 inches wide, so even dually trucks can fit. As you approach the tunnel, use the large red balls as a visual to guide you onto the belt. Slow your vehicle down and follow the prompts on the screen. No more worrying about damaging your rims and tires with an old-fashioned chain and pulley system. Try it out and love your ride.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers.
If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us. This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it. Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. 12 minutes until kickoff here. Colton Fleetwood, Gordy Jones with you, Peyton Davis down on the field. And again, we're on the countdown to kickoff, brought to you by Precision Nutrition of Dell City. And here in just a moment, we're going to have the national anthem, which we will present to you live. So in a moment, we'll send it down to that. Coach Jones, we're hoping to still get an interview as well. Of course, we had the tribute to J.J. Cheatham just a few moments ago, and so I think Coach is maybe wanting to have time with his players perhaps to talk, which is understandable. So if we get an interview, great. If not, we certainly understand. This Collinsville team, Gordy, you know, one thing I want to really talk about with them is, like you said, they're 3-0. They've got a lot of confidence right now.
Right.
Last season when Dell City played Collinsville, it was at Collinsville. And this is a cool thing for me. Mm-hmm. We got to Collinsville, and that crowd was like something I haven't seen in a high school environment. It was electric.
That's one thing I love about Collinsville. They always bring a good crowd out to the games. I remember a few years back them winning the state championship. Ever since even before then, they had a really good team. So this year, I expect them to, pretty much, have the same result as they had last year, with pretty much having a solid squad all the way around.
Well, and they'll be well coached. They won state in 2021. They're the last team in 5A, not named Carl Albert, to win. They had a perfect season in 2021. And 2020, they only lost one game, and that was to Carl Albert in the state finals in a relatively close game. I think Carl Albert pulled away late. So there's a lot of history, a lot of success over on that sideline. They're used to winning, and they have a high standard. They want to win ball games. It's important to them. So district play opening with these two teams. These are two of the best teams in the district. Of course, Claremore is going to be one of those teams as well, and Pryor, I think, is another team that will want to put their name in the hat to be drawn out to try to win. But tonight for Dell City, it's going to be interesting to see. There is a good chance that we are going to see Sincere Overton making his season debut. We have quietly in the booth kind of not mentioned him a lot, but we're excited to see him back on the field. Davion's done a great job, and if he gets the go, I think Dell City's confident in what he can do. We saw last week he's starting to get more comfortable, but if we're able to get Sincere back on the field tonight, I think Dell City, it's just going to add a whole nother layer to that offense.
It's a whole totally different dimension when you add a whole new quarterback into the realm. I know it's one of those weeks where you're kind of going through the motions, and I bet you Sincere was just, itching to get back on the field, probably to say the least. But, watching him during the warm-ups, it looks like he's, pretty good to go. The only thing is, now he kind of ironed out, some of those wrinkles and shaking off some of that rust. So I'm definitely excited about seeing Sincere Overton tonight, and I know the coaches are probably the same.
We are going to send it down to the field. We're going to put the sideline mic on the band, so we'll send it down to that for the national anthem.
Bringing in the colors is the Dell City High School ROTC. Once again, special thanks to the Dell City Eagle Marching Band and the Dell City Eagles ROTC.
All right, well done as always by the Dell City Pride Marching Band, and a great job of the junior ROTC as well. Gordy, last season when these two teams played, Dell City won the game 61-10.
Really?
And it caught me a little bit off guard. I think it caught a lot of people off guard because people thought that game was going to be a lot more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And with all due respect to Collinsville, at one point in the game, I remember thinking, I hope somebody doesn't get hurt,
right,
because Dell City was just a lot more physical. And so it does make me wonder if Collinsville maybe was a younger team last season, and they're going to be more prepared for that this season as well. So that is something to watch for as of course, this game will get going. Now, the captains are starting to walk towards the field, so I want to tell you briefly about the coin toss, but I do see Coach Jones coming down, so I'm going to probably go ahead and send it down to Peyton Davis here in just a second as soon as we get Coach. Yeah, looks like she's got him. So we are going to go ahead pretty quickly and send it down. So Peyton Davis, whenever you're ready, we'll send it to you with head coach Robert Jones.
Okay, Coach Jones, what's been the focus of preparation this week?
It's a district game. You use non-district to kind of get you prepared to get in these moments. Collinsville's a great team. They're coming, they're in 2022 they won a state championship. Last year we kind of got up on them and the score wasn't an indication of what type of team they are. So we understand the physicality, we understand the detail to orientation that their coaches are going to come with. So we're prepared and we understand what's going to be at stake today, being a district game.
Now, where do you feel you have the biggest advantage in tonight's matchup?
Well, I don't know if you ever have advantage when it's your first district game, but just our running game, that's what we really hang our hat on. You have Rickland Holmes, Kayla Blackwolf, and then we have Sincere Overton, who's been out the last 3 games. He's going to come in and add an added addition to us, to our running game, and also to our passing game with the experience he had as playing quarterback last year. So I just think the experience as a quarterback, that's really going to come into play this game.
have a good game tonight.
All right. Thanks, Peyton. Thanks, Coach. Great job down there. We've got the coin toss coming up. Gordy, I'm going to have you watch the coin toss, see what the result is, while I talk about our awesome sponsor for the coin toss. It's Bucks Flight Academy, and they are led by Dell City graduate Kenny Lockhart. For affordable flight training from private pilot through multi-engine rating, check them out on Facebook and Instagram. You can book a Discovery flight today by giving them a call at 405-538-1400. Have interested in flying? There's your opportunity at Bucks Flight Academy with Kenny Lockhart. The captains for tonight's Dell City team, Caleb Blackwolf, Ricklin Holmes, also number 54 down there, which is our Nico Daniels.
Dell City wins the coin toss. They will defer until the start of the second half.
I'm sure most people at home heard the PA announcer, but Gordy, I'll go ahead and let you tell us what was the result there.
Oh, Dell City, they did win the coin toss over there, and they did defer to the second half. So they gave Collinsville Cardinals the reception for the start of the first half. So definitely excited about the Collinsville Cardinals to see what they got.
All right, very good. Now, here, let's go ahead if we can. I might want to send it down to our sideline reporter. I know you just did a great interview with Coach Jones. What's the weather like down there, Peyton?
Yeah, it's definitely warm, but hey, I'll take 80 over 100 any day, and I'm sure these players would too. I was here at a few of their practices over the summer, and I guarantee you it was at least 110 out there on that field. So I'm sure for them, the weather's just fine.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. It's brutal, Gordy, whenever you have to practice in that 110-degree heat like she's talking about. So this is winter. These guys, I'm surprised you don't see long sleeves out there
right.
on some of these guys. But, the weather has been almost perfect throughout football season this year. You've had cooler temperatures. Tonight's going to be one of the warmer games they've had.
Right. Pretty warm out there today, and like you said before, I can imagine how the players feel coming off the summertime. Like Peyton said earlier, but when you play in a game like this, it's just the perfect weather. I know it gets a little muggy, of course, but these last few weeks, you couldn't ask for better weather than that in the football contest.
No doubt. So Collinsville's team, they're coming out, and as you can see there on the screen, they've got a lot of red, white, and blue flags. That's pretty cool. Got a lot of them as they're coming out. Dell City's going to come through their really cool tunnel. That's the Eagle. And so the players are both behind there. They're ready to get going. So 2 minutes till kickoff. We're going to take our last break until we come back. We will be right back for kickoff here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This looks like you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Collinsville took the field. They're on their respective sidelines. Still waiting on the Eagles to take the field. Again, it's district play, the opening of district play tonight. Dell City and Collinsville, two of the better teams in their district in 5A. These two teams are, winner of this game kind of puts themselves in the driver's seat, as crazy as it sounds.
Right.
The first game of district play, it puts themselves in the driver's seat to perhaps win district. And again, Claremore and Pryor, they're going to have something to say about that, but this is an exciting matchup. A pretty good crowd over there on the Collinsville side. That's a long drive.
It's a long drive.
Good 90 minutes to an hour 45, especially at this time of day.
Right.
5 o'clock rush hour traffic. Good amount of people showed up. Quite a few people here on the Eagles sideline as well, which I assume more people will start to file in. So now we just need to get the Eagles on the field. There's some the coaches are wanting to get them out there. Like, let's get going here. So, Gordy, any final thoughts?
I got a lot of final thoughts right here. Excited to see the Dell City Eagles take the field today, Colton. Definitely. But, like I said earlier, and like you just hit it on the head, when you're coming into a game 2-1, versus an undefeated opponent, especially in district play, like we said earlier, this is like the time, really, like you get into your fourth game, like I said earlier, like time to clean up those mistakes. And, it's really on the Dell City Eagles to see if they can, put together a complete football game. I know Coach Jones, really focuses on putting these guys in the correct position. And I know tonight they are really excited, to have Sincere Overton back so we can kind of initiate him into this offense and kind of get these guys rolling.
Now, before we get started, I'm going to send it down to Peyton one more time. Peyton, this is district play. Is there a little extra energy on this Dell City sideline? Oh, looks like we are disconnected there. Give us 1 second here. Peyton, if you can hear me, what is the energy like down there on that Dell City sideline?
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that one more time? It is loud down here tonight.
Yeah, what is the energy like for the Dell City sideline?
Just like I said, I think everyone is super excited. The players have seemed in really good spirits. I know it might have been a little somber before with that presentation, but they are ready to get out on the field tonight and kick off district play.
Very good. So the Eagles deferred to the second half. They'll be kicking off from left to right on your screen. The Eagles wearing their black uniforms with the red numbers, red pants with black trim, and their black helmets with the DC logo on the helmet as well. Collinsville wearing their icy white uniforms with the red numbers, white helmets all the way through. Collinsville's receiving team starts to take the field. Rickland Holmes will do the honor on the kickoff. This kickoff is brought to you by the Dell City Chamber of Commerce. The Dell City Chamber of Commerce, where they are the trusted resource for advocacy, education, and engagement to help you improve your business. We appreciate the Dell City Chamber of Commerce sponsoring all of our kickoffs this season with Dell City. And as I said, Rickland Holmes will be the man to kick it off. Dell City did have a onside kick last week against Midwest City. So that's something that if Collinsville's watched film, I'm sure they're probably on the lookout for to start this ball game. District play 2025. We are underway. It's a high end over end kick. Taken at the 15-yard line by a Cardinal. Brings it by the 25. Gets a couple blockers, but he's not able to go further than that. He'll be tackled at the 25-yard line, and that's where Collinsville will set up shop. The Eagle defense has been dominant this season so far, other than week one, but these last 2 weeks they've really picked it up. And even against Edmond Memorial, Gordy, they played pretty well.
Right. No doubt. And I think over the last last 3 weeks, I think the Dell City defense has really kind of find their own. We thinking about Basil Gunter, some of the others as far as Simmons, and of course, Caleb Blackwolf and Rickland Holmes. These guys have all done damage, and like I said, have increasingly gotten better over the last 3 weeks.
Quarterback for Collinsville is a 6'5" sophomore. His name is Carter Vaughn. He takes the snap out of a lone gun, throws the deep ball down to the right side. It's caught for a first down up to the 38-yard line. Nice looking throw.
No hesitation
for the sophomore quarterback. So Dell City, they're going to have to be prepared for a spread-style offense. Looks like it could be some pass-heavy stuff. At least that's the way the game has started.
And this quarterback has a lot of great size on him. I look to, like you said, they just came out firing. So I imagine that Collinsville Cardinals will be, trying to pass the ball a lot and, getting off to a fast start. We can see they all already putting the ball in the air pretty quickly.
I remember Scott Rigby, one of their better running backs. He takes the snap. Not much going for Rigby as he's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up for Collinsville.
Nice stop by the defense on that one.
Gordy, you and I were talking before the game started at the size of Collinsville. They don't have a lot of size. Their quarterback is actually one of their bigger guys.
Quarterback's a big guy. He's actually probably the taller one on the team. A few of the receivers also have some size as well. But other than that, not a really size. I'll obviously compare a little bit, more to Dell City as far as size goes. Dell City not having a lot of big guys as well. So this ought to be a pretty good matchup between the two.
Vaughn takes a floating snap, back to pass. It's a screen play, which is caught over the middle, set up nicely to the 50, up to the Dell City 45, brought down from behind by Caleb Blackwolf, I believe, at the 42-yard line. It's another Cardinal first down. Great play call as Dell City got a little overzealous on the pass rush.
Love the play call. It was just a little inside screen. Quarterback was able to get it out pretty quickly. I think he kind of caught the defense off guard. Linebackers kind of standing right in the middle. Like I said, really dumped that screen right over the top of the middle and able to get a great, run and a good first down.
A lot of confidence with this offense.
Right. a lot of unorthodox plays, especially when you see some of those screen plays. They got four guys wide out. So, I think they're more thinking the outside pass when you're attacking the middle. This kind of leaves these linebackers a little second guessing.
Vaughn out of the gun, hands to Rigby again. Rigby with a nice hole up the middle, fights his way forward to the 35-yard line. Another good gain. Collinsville putting together a nice drive. It'll be 2nd down and 1. And this is where you have to be careful. As Collinsville has shown, they'll throw the football. This is where they might take a shot.
Love the carry by Rigby going up the middle. I think, like I said, they are really just kind of catching Dell City by spreading those guys out, and taking a lot of that, bunch in the middle. Like I said, they're not loaded in the box, so spreading them out is really giving Rigby a lot of more room to work with when he's going up the middle. And the offensive line is making a really good push as well. So let's see if Dell City can get a good stop here.
Tight formation. It's a pitch play on a sweep to the left side. There's a little bit of room. Gets the first down past the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another Collinsville first down.
Again, nice rush to the edge, nice rush to the outside. I like the sweep call. Dell City's really just going to have to do what they can to kind of come down on the ball. I don't really see a lot of people coming downhill and trying to cut that off, but what you really got to do as a linebacker is kind of come downhill and really try to cut that guy off before he hits that corner.
And Collinsville was running a pretty quick offense to where we have to really keep our head on a swivel. And if that means we're having to do that, that means this defense has to as well.
Exactly.
They're getting these play calls in pretty quickly. You can tell they got a lot of trust in their quarterback because he's really controlling the no-huddle offense.
Very much so.
1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. One man in motion from left to right. Hand off to Rigby. Stuffed. Nowhere to go. Rickland Holmes right there to make the tackle.
Nice stuff by Rickland Holmes on that one. Great stop. And able to stop the Rigby just for a small, not even a no gain at all on that one.
Collinsville will sub, so that means Dell City should get an opportunity to sub if they'd like. Choosing not to.
Love the way Rickland Holmes came down on that one. As a linebacker, that's what you really got to do. You really got to try to cut that off at that line of scrimmage.
2 men to the left, 1 to the right. The man in right coming to left on the motion. Back to pass is Vaughn. Pressure coming. It's another screen pass. Rickland Holmes was hoping that ball was going to be caught, but it was not. Incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Had he been looking up, Cole, he might have had a chance for an interception on that one. I just don't think that he saw the ball going in the air.
I almost think Rickland he knew that the play was coming.
He was ready to hit.
He was ready to hit.
He's ready to knock somebody out, and I definitely understand that.
Dell City going to sub here. 3rd and long. They're going to go with a 3-man front, it appears. Going to have an extra man in the secondary. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Rigby was in the backfield. Now he's going to line up to the left, which will make it trips. Brings a man in motion. Rickland Holmes, a free rush off the edge. Forces the pass to come a little quicker than it wanted to, and it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Good read. Just a little bit off by the quarterback, but I think Caleb Blackwood was out there kind of kicking himself a little bit. Had he read that ball just a little bit better, it might have went right into his hands, but great coverage by the Dell City defense nonetheless.
Now we have a clock on the screen, but just in case you can't see it, it is 8 minutes and 23 seconds in quarter number 1. And a big 4th down to start this ball game. Collinsville was really moving the ball, and this is a big play for them if they want to continue this drive. Dell City with a 3-man front. 3-man rush. It's a screen pass. Dell City was trying to get out there, could not, and now this is going to be really close to the 1st down. They need the 19-yard line. Not going to get it. Turnover on downs at the 22-yard line. The Dell City defense now, hang on, there is a flag, and I think, Gordy, I think they're going to get a possible illegal shift. So I don't think it'll matter, but let's confirm.
Well, it was a good stop, nonetheless, by the Dell City defense, of course. Good thing, got a penalty on that one.
Actually called it a hold, but it won't. Either way. Won't matter. Dell City football.
Great stop, great turnover on downs. That's exactly what they wanted in a situation like that. Collinsville looked to make a great drive on the way down. Just kind of got outside themselves, getting away from what was kind of their bread and butter in the beginning. But 2 incomplete passes and great job by the defense. So it sets Dell City up to go into a great scoring drive. So let's see what they can do here.
You know what else? It sets them up for the debut.
The debut.
Sincere Overton.
I can't wait. Let's see.
Overton back to pass. Pumps. Now looking, throws a deep ball. This is Nicholas Holmes, who he's looking for. Just a little past the arms of Nicholas Holmes, but a pretty good ball as it gave him an opportunity to make a catch.
Really good flare out pass. I really love the play call. That's what you really want to do. You want to catch them off guard and try to get them out quick. One thing the receivers got to do, now you got a different quarterback, so that's the thing that we're really going to have to get used to, building that relationship again with those receivers. Sincere is going to kind of feel his way through this game, and we'll see that a lot. Great pass, but, hey, just got to get that on the money.
Now Sincere going to use his legs running left. He's hit. Good tackle. Only a gain of maybe a yard. Went low on Sincere, was able to bring him down.
That's a welcome back hit right there, Cole.
Yes, that was one that, it's like, man.
Yeah, that's why I love this game. That's when you get hit like that, you realize, oh, this is why I missed it in the first place. It'll wake you up.
Or if you're like me, it's why you don't play football. 3rd and 10. They did not give Overton a yard. He's going to drop back to pass. Throws it out to the far side. It's caught by Josiah Chester. Has the first down after a couple juke moves to the 35-yard line. Boy, the soft coverage, Dell City makes them pay.
Great job. Josiah Chester is one of those players that in one-on-one, I wouldn't call him unstoppable, but, it's a great receiver. So one-on-one coverage, you really want to try to get this guy the ball. Great size, great speed, and, of course, we see Sincere was able to get him the ball, rather quickly. But you get this guy in space, and Josiah Chester can do some really amazing things. So I can't wait to see what this guy does tonight as well.
7 minutes and 15 seconds now left in the opening quarter. Sincere Overton hands it to Rickland Holmes. Rickland Holmes with a stiff arm as he's trying to run to the left side. Has to fall forward just to pick up maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
What we're seeing, I love, like we talked about earlier, is balance. We're seeing some good balance by Dell City early on. I imagine that they'll kind of stick with this same formula.
I got to tell you, I'm a little impressed with Collinsville's front. They're doing a really good job so far. See if that continues. A direct snap. Overton going to take off running to the right side. Overton's got a step, and he's brought down after picking up the first down at the 49-yard line.
Great keeper on that one. I like Sincere, running on that outside. Staying straight up. We can see this gentleman has great speed, of course. Really lengthy ball player, and, of course, great vision as well. So we see he's able to get that first down. Great carry by Sincere Overton.
Man, there is just an electric ability about him when he runs. It doesn't look like he's running that fast. There's some deceiving speed to Sincere Overton, which makes him, in fact, more dangerous.
Right.
Dell City now with 3 receivers to the left side. Holmes in the backfield with Overton. Overton back to pass. They're getting him comfortable early. He's going deep down the sideline, looking for Nicholas Holmes again. Boy, close, but just a little overthrown. Brings up 2nd and 10, but I like the fact that Dell City's taking shots, Gordy.
I love it, actually. That's what we said earlier. Josiah Chester, they did a lot of, plays, or ran a lot of plays last week, really trying to get him involved in the football game. He was able to break on that second level, but like we said before, Sincere is just trying to iron some of those kinks out a little bit, able to get the ball in there, but I love the balance that they got right now.
Nicholas Holmes will come out of the football game. Caleb Blackwolf in at receiver. Haven't seen a lot of that for Dell City. That's another athlete out there. This handoff going to go to Rickland Holmes. He avoids a couple tacklers as he crosses the 45 to the 42-yard line. Nope, they'll mark him at the 43. Incorrect, so it'll be 3rd and short. Boy, I thought he got to the 42.
Yeah, we see that a lot on that pistol formation, using those same plays to kind of get them really good yards up the middle.
Well, and I like that Dell City does run out of the pistol quite a bit because it makes it more difficult for a defense to know what they're going to run, right?
Right.
If you're set up to your left of the quarterback, it kind of gives it away. If it's a run play, it's going to go to the right.
Exactly.
Right? So whenever it's a pistol, it makes it a little more unpredictable. One man in motion from left to right. Going to be a keep here for Sincere Overton. Kind of loses his footing, but is able to get north and south close to the first down marker. And I think he's got just enough for the first down. He does. Dell City, first down.
Able to get that first down on there. Looked like he might have had a little bit of space on that outside edge, but Sincere decided to cut it up and run, able to get that first down, and that's what's most important. So good run by Sincere.
And it's hard. It's funny. He's only a sophomore.
Right.
And he's already making smart plays like that. He lost his footing. How many young players that are just not mature enough to know you lose your footing and then you're like, I'm still going to hit that sideline. Instead, he knows, hey, I got to get north and south. I have to get the first down first. Smart play from Sincere.
Super mature for a quarterback.
Now Overton going to run right. Got a couple blockers. Picks up a few yards past the 35 down to the 33-yard line. Nice carry of 8.
What I like about Sincere the most is you can tell that he is pretty much set and certain as far as how he wants these plays to go, as far as being decisive. There's not a lot of thinking, he's really going into each play, and especially on these runs, he's not kind of lollygagging around. He's actually maybe, able to get to those holes and kind of break that defense down and able to get positive yards around the way.
With this being second and short, they'll hand it to Rickland Holmes. Holmes will go forward to the 30, drags a couple tacklers, possibly to the 29, picks up another Dell City first down. Dell City doing this the old-fashioned way. Briefly, while I have a moment, I want to tell you about our first quarter sponsor, which is one of my favorites. It's Whataburger. Whataburger of Midwest City off of 15th Street welcomes you to come by after the game for a free medium French fry with any purchase. All you got to do is say you're with Dell City High School and the Oklahoma Sports Network sent you. Only good on game day, and it's only good at the 15th Street location. Gordy, Blake, myself, we were all there after the game last week, so go check them out. Get your free fries with a purchase. Overton, back to pass, throws it into double coverage. Fortunately for Sincere, it was overthrown. It'll go out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Not sure if that was a miscommunication by the receiver and the quarterback on that one. It looks like just maybe overthrew that just a little bit, but you had kind of two receivers running in that same direction on that one, but let's see what they call play next.
It's just a matter of time, you would think, before Sincere is able to hit some of those deep balls. But I like the fact that Dell City's giving him the opportunity.
You have to, call in that situation. You really don't want to lollygag around, and, you don't want to kind of take the chance and just easing them into it. You really want him to get that arm loose, and try to, like I said, build that relationship with those receivers.
Hand off to Holmes again. Ooh. Hurdles a tackler to the 20, 15, inside the 10, and down to the 6-yard line, into the red zone. Gordy, tell them about our red zone sponsor.
Our red zone sponsor is today brought to you by Bail Bonds by Tamara. So, have you missed the ball on paying the ticket? Call Bail Bonds by Tamara at 405-200-5110. 15-plus years of great service serving in the community. So, if you ever need any help in a bail bonds or any type of help getting someone out of jail, Bail Bonds by Tamara.
Sincere Overton runs to the right side, and he is brought down just short of the end zone. It'll be marked inside the 1-yard line. Sincere going to have to wait another play to get that first touchdown to 2025. Let's see if Dell City runs the same offense. Looks like they will. They're just going to run it to the opposite side here. Dell City trying to run it fast. Gets out to the left side. Into the end zone. Touchdown. Sincere Overton. Welcome back.
All right, he's back, folks. That's what we want to see. Great run in by Sincere Overton.
Did a lot of it with his legs. And, they tried to get his arm going. Weren't able to super well, but the legs were there, and he's able to take Dell City into the end zone for their first score of district play. And, boy, you couldn't have drawn up the start much better for Dell City.
They're nice and loose now. They should be nice and loose. I think we've seen a lot of the players on the offense. We had 5 different people touch the ball on that drive alone. So the Dell City Eagles, unfortunately, didn't make that kick. But back to what I was saying, the Dell City Eagles, are able to put together a really balanced offense, especially since they're over and able to get some of the receivers involved. We've seen both Rickland Holmes and we've seen Black Wolf, actually carrying the ball, and Sincere Overton carrying the ball. So really good, possession by Dell City, especially getting everybody involved. That's the balance that we like to see for sure.
6-0. 3:19 left to go in the opening quarter. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
And welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3:19 left to go in quarter number one. Dell City is up 6-0 after a sincere Overton touchdown on the ground for 1 yard. Here is a Dell City Chamber of Commerce kickoff that Rickland Holmes will do the honors for. Here in a moment, we'll tell you about the scoring recap there, as I kind of just went through it with you, but we'll tell you who sponsored the scoring recap. There's the kick, received at the 20-yard line. Decent return and a hard tackle at the 36-yard line. That's where Collinsville will take the field for their second drive. Good field position for them. That scoring recap, Sincere Overton used his legs to will the Dell City offense into the end zone with some help from Rickland Holmes and Josiah Chester as well. It is brought to you by our really good friend, Madison's Country Cooking. The key phrase this week is touchdown, and that will get you 10% off all purchases this week. And open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesdays through Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday and Monday. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner specials, and breakfast is served all day. Remember this, free Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day. Can't beat that. That is our scoring recap sponsor. Collinsville with a handoff to Rigby. Rigby tackled by Draquan Wright, a pickup of about 2 yards. It'll be second down and 8.
Nice tackle by Wright on that one. Good stop by the defense in general. We're seeing Collinsville is kind of sticking with the same game plan, trying to get that ball to Rigby. We'll see if they try to, spread the ball out a little bit here.
Second down and 8 from the 38.
The tempo for Collinsville was intense that first drive. They
Right.
slowed down after that, trying to maybe regain focus a little bit. It's almost like in practice all week they had their perfect drive set up. It's got to be frustrating. They weren't able to get points out of it, but they did have a nice drive going until they were stopped on that fourth down. So Vaughn on an RPO type play tried to throw it over the middle to his tight end. It was a little too high. It'll fall incomplete. Even if he had caught it, I think it would have only been maybe a pickup of about 2 as Rickland Holmes was closing in quickly.
Right, just a little bit of a tip on that one.
8 yards to go.
Damani Godwin, a freshman defensive lineman.
We've actually seen this kid, get a lot of rotation, and I really like to see that. Damani Godwin is a D tackle that has a lot of good footwork, and I see, as a freshman, he must be doing something right, to be able to get that amount of minutes with this Dell City Eagle defense.
A big third down for Collinsville. Boy, the snap was really floating. Rickland Holmes was on the rush. Intercepted by Nicholas Holmes. He flew through the air like Superman, and they're not going to catch him. Nicholas Holmes, touchdown, Dell City. Did you see the vertical on that, Gordy?
What a great read by Nicholas Holmes on that one. The vertical, all hands catch. And, of course, Nicholas Holmes always has had great speed, able to make it to the end zone. You really couldn't ask for a better read. Quarterback was, kind of looking over the top, but Nicholas Holmes was able to jump right into that route and snag that one and able to get a pick for the return. Great job by Nicholas Holmes.
Our producer, Blake Unruh, doing a great job playing the replay, which is brought to you by Triple Elite Screen Printing. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite. The extra point is good this time. 13-0, Dell City on top. We'll take another break. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Loading onto our conveyor belt is incredibly low stress and easy. The conveyor belt can fit vehicles up to 96 inches wide, so even dually trucks can fit. As you approach the tunnel, use the large red balls as a visual to guide you onto the belt. Slow your vehicle down and follow the prompts on the screen. No more worrying about damaging your rims and tires with an old-fashioned chain and pulley system.
Try it out and love your ride.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. 13-0 after the pick six by Nicholas Holmes. Remarkable catch. And then an easy return back to the end zone. Puts Dell City up 2 scores here as Dell City, again, another Dell City Chamber of Commerce kickoff. the Chamber of Commerce in Dell City. We've gotten to meet some of their members throughout some of these games. We enjoy meeting them. They do a really good job for businesses throughout Dell City. If you're a business owner in the Dell City area, you need to get involved with the Dell City Chamber of Commerce. There is a high kick received at the 14-yard line by Collinsville. A good return past the 40. Now there's Rickland Holmes to beat, and that's not going to happen, but still gets to the 50-yard line. A fantastic return by Rigby for the Cardinals. That gives them good field position in a maybe a must-score drive, as crazy as that sounds in the first quarter with 2 minutes left.
Not crazy at all, Cole. We knew before they weren't really having a lot of success. Rigby was having a lot of success that first drive initially, but once Dell City kind of stopped them, like you said earlier, they kind of got away, from that game plan, and they tried to put the ball in the air. That gave Dell City, the amount, of ability to put that pressure on. We had Rickland Holmes blitzing, so the quarterback had to get rid of the ball, throwing it to Detective Holmes on that one. So we'll see what, Collinsville is able to do this drive, but they're able to get great field position with Rigby on that return.
This Dell City secondary is getting better and better by the week. Caden Johnson
agree.
really has been really good this whole season, but now Nicholas Holmes, who's having to go both ways, making plays. Josiah Chester, Black Wolf, dangerous.
Dangerous.
Handoff to Rigby, tracked down
stop
from behind by Caleb Black Wolf, only a gain a yard to the 49. Second down and 9 coming up. That last interception, I forgot to tell you, is also brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. And again, all you got to do is just go in there and say the keyword touchdown, and you're going to get 10% off of all purchases. Cedric texted me earlier this week, our camera operator, and he was like, hey, Colton, let me ask you, if I do that every day, is that okay? And I said, absolutely. He said, good, because that fish was delicious. So that tells you all you need to know. Go to Madison's Country Cooking. Second down and 9. Vaughn out of the gun. Hands it to Rigby. Rigby up the middle. Nowhere to go. Boy, the Dell City Eagles, there was too many of them to even tell you exactly who made the play. Looks like the freshman was one of them, Damani Godwin. It'll be third down and long.
Good job by the freshman again. Damani, making a name for himself, to say the least. But the defensive line is just doing a really good job putting that pressure on Collinsville. They haven't really, since that first drive, really haven't been able to get anything going like they were. And I like that. You got to bite down and you got to tighten up on that defense.
Dell City crowd making some pretty good noise tonight.
Crowd's into it tonight. I love it.
Yeah,
we need them loud. We need you guys loud.
The PA announcers got them going. Mike Stewart. Vaughn back to pass, going to be a screen play. That's not going to work. Initially, a second effort that Rickland Holmes cleans up. It'll be fourth down, and this is maybe where Collinsville has to say, hey, listen, this game's getting away from us. We might want to go for it. But if you go for it and you don't get it, you're giving the ball back to Dell City at the midfield line.
The speed is seemed to be a factor that really is just kind of killing Collinsville Cardinals on this one. They, like we said earlier, we know the secondary. We've seen them just getting better and better, but they are flying around the field. And what I love to see, Colt, is hats flying to the ball. We see a lot of black helmets. If one guy misses the tackle, we see Caleb Williams, we see Rickland Holmes flying in for the, next tackle. So really good job by the defense. If they can keep this going, it's going to be a long night for the Cardinals.
Ooh. Collinsville decided to punt, and then the snap went over the head. Now there's going to be a second effort at punting. It was able to get it off. I think it was partially blocked. It'll get right back to the initial line of scrimmage at the 46-yard line. The Eagles will take over right there. That is the end of our first quarter. When we come back, we'll have an update from Peyton Davis down there on the sidelines. We'll hear from her in just a moment. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the Works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. The Eagles offense coming back out for the second quarter, up 13-0. Quickly want to send it down to Peyton Davis. Peyton, what are you seeing down there from Sincere Overton?
Yeah, Collinsville came out confident, but I think Sincere Overton, it came out even more confident. I mean, look at his speed. He's very quick on his feet, making good decisions, and that'll pay off with a touchdown on that first drive. But also, how about that pick from Nicholas Holmes? The sideline after that play, I think the Eagles are very happy with that first quarter.
I would say so. That is what Peyton just said is Sincere Overton making his debut tonight and looking really confident, and that is impressive. Again, you can't understate it. It maybe has said too much. We talk about his age a lot last year, and I had to catch myself a couple times about listen, he's in the big leagues now. He's playing varsity football, but he's only a sophomore, and for him to have that ability to be that confident is impressive.
He's played a lot of football in his career. I mean, in his lifetime, I think he's been playing quarterback probably since he was a youth. But like I said, Sincere, I've seen this kid, in action, especially last year. He just has the tools, and he definitely has what it takes, to be a successful quarterback. And it's almost like night and day. When you kind of get back in the groove of things, it's probably almost, it feels to him, probably like he never left. And I know he's probably ecstatic to be back.
He took that carry to the left side, down to the 45-yard line. Needs the 44, so it is 3rd down and 1 for Dell City. And Caleb Blackwolf is in the ball game. Looks like he will be the running back with Sincere. He has yet to have a carry tonight. I would imagine that will change here momentarily. Not on this play, though. Overton going to keep it to the left side. He was hit initially before the first down marker and then just pushed his way forward for an Eagle first down, a nice aggressive run. Gordy, are you surprised at all with the amount of carries we're seeing from Sincere, or is this about what you expected?
I kind of really expected it, Cole, which is, funny that you said that because I was actually sitting there thinking about how much would they want to get Sincere involved in the game. And as we've seen here, he's been a little bit on the passing game, of course, trying to air it out early on, and now they got him running the ball. What it really is you got to kind of get him going. You want to get him to take those hits, and kind of get used and get in the groove of things, be able to see, what he really hasn't been able to see these last few weeks. So, yes, it's not a surprise, but I am really, concerned, that he doesn't really try to do too much.
Handoff to Blackwolf, his first carry of the game, and he was hit for no gain. Great tackle by Braden. I think it was number 30. I don't have him on my roster, but I think his first name is Braden. So the roster only says Braden. So forgive me if you're a Collinsville watcher. I don't have his name on my roster there. That is all it says is Braden.
Braden.
I would assume that's a mistake, right? So it'll be 2nd and 11. It was actually a loss of 1. Blackwolf still in the backfield. Sends Quincy Hill from left to right. Back to pass is Sincere. Sincere stops, looks, takes off up the middle. And he's hit around the 40, pushes his way forward to the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 4. It'll be 3rd down and, about 7 yards, maybe, 3rd and 7 for Dell City.
Looked like Sincere had his eyes on Josiah Chester. Not really sure if that's the one he really wanted to go to. Once Chester was covered up, he decided to go ahead and pull it down, and take it up the middle. But, like I said, really good looks on there. We've seen a lot of speed by these receivers. So I think he has the looks that he wants, just has that confidence, to kind of let that one go.
Dell City going to take their time to get this play call in. 8:45 in quarter number 2, which is brought to you by Whataburger again. Whataburger has those free French fries over there at the 15th Street location. All you got to do is mention you're with Dell City High School and that the mascot is the Oklahoma Sports Network. So you got to tell us that we sent you, and or you can tell them that the Eagles sent you. Either one, it'll get you a free French fry with any purchase after the game. Remember, it's only good on game day, only at the 15th Street location. Timeout call by Dell City, 3rd and 7. We're going to take a break with 8:35 left to go in quarter number 2. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3rd and 7. Overton back to pass. Blitz coming. It was picked up. Overton now going to try to get it with his legs. Puts a move on, flag down in the backfield. He did get the first down, did Sincere, up to the 31-yard line, but I think it's coming back as we're going to get a hold. Let's just wait and see. It is funny. We just jinxed that, I think. During the commercial, Gordy Blake, our producer, leaned over and goes, man, we should mention that Dell City hasn't had a penalty yet, which has been something that they needed to do. And then first play, when we come back, a penalty. Well, I'll be darned.
First one of the day, but, I mean, good read. Despite the penalty, Sincere had a really good run up the middle, but unfortunately has to come back. But like you said, they've been doing a really good job today. Not really a lot of flags have hit the ground, and that's what we really want to see. But like I said, hopefully from now on we don't have a lot of those. But, yeah, first flag of the day for Dell City. Let's see if they can kind of tighten that up. But unfortunately lost a really good amount of yards on that play.
Yeah, and even worse, it makes it 3rd and 16 now. Dell City has to get the ball to the 32-yard line. They're backed up almost to midfield to the 49. Overton has 3 receivers to the right side, 2 to the left. Overton the snap. Blitz coming. It's a free rush. Throws over the middle, looking for Black Wolf, and it was, a really laser of a throw, but nobody was quite ready for it. Dell City going to have to punt this one away.
That's what we talked about earlier, kind of shaking some of that rust off a little bit. Not really sure exactly if he was trying to go to Black Wolf in the middle, but it's like I said before, this is what it's going to take. It's going to take a little bit of trial and error, and once these guys kind of get on the same page, you'll see a little bit more precise, passing, but this is what it takes. You're going to have to let that ball go and kind of just find it, and what it really kind of boils down to is, running the right reads and, making the right plays on that one.
Holmes with a booming kick. That'll be
kick.
fair caught. Not sure why. It was fair caught at the 14-yard line. Boy, I mean, he wound up muffing it, but had he caught it, man, there was no Eagles even near him. He would have had a chance to return it, but a quick fair catch. And Collinsville will be pinned deep in their own territory here at their own 14. 7:58 left to go in quarter number 2. Dell City leading it 13-0 over Collinsville. If you're just now joining us, Sincere Overton scored the first touchdown on a 1-yard touchdown run, but his legs really led the opening drive for Dell City. And then right after that, we came back from break, and the very first pass from Carter Vaughn was picked off by Nicholas Holmes, a great interception, and he took it all the way to the house for a pick 6. So that's where we are to this point at 13-0. Collinsville started the game, though, with a pretty nice drive. And it just seems like after they got stopped on 4th down, they lost a little bit of that mojo that they had to start the ball game. Let's see if they can get that back. I think Carter Vaughn to me, has the ability to put the ball in the air and make plays. Let's see if they trust him to do so. Won't on this play. They'll hand it to Rigby. Rigby goes up the middle to the 20-yard line, brought down at the 21. He is an aggressive runner too. And so I think for them right now, you have to lean on mixing things up, keep, like you mentioned earlier, Gordy, trying to keep Dell City a little bit on their heels.
Right. You got to keep these guys off balance if you do want to move the ball. This is a really important drive for the Cardinals. But like you said earlier, Colt, they really got to try to keep the Dell City defense off balance because the speed is just something that they really can't compete with right now.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. I think that should have been called for a false start. Dell City instead going to get a sack. I couldn't tell if
looked like a miscommunication in the backfield between the quarterback and the running back. Looks like he kind of turned off to the right side, and the quarterback really didn't see the guy that he was handing off to, so got a busted play on that one.
3rd down here for Collinsville. They got to get this ball to the 24-yard line. 3rd and 7, taking a long time to look at the sideline to try to see what they want to do. Still a lot of time left in the half here. I think this might be an opportunity to take a timeout, and they will.
Right.
Collinsville with a timeout. They know this is a huge play for them, so we'll take a timeout with them. 13-0 our score. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Loading onto our conveyor belt is incredibly low stress and easy. The conveyor belt can fit vehicles up to 96 inches wide, so even dually trucks can fit. As you approach the tunnel, use the large red balls as a visual to guide you onto the belt. Slow your vehicle down and follow the prompts on the screen. No more worrying about damaging your rims and tires with an old-fashioned chain and pulley system.
Try it out and love your ride.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Back live with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3rd down and 7 for Collinsville. They tried to get the Eagles to jump offside. Didn't happen. They'll look to the sideline to get an audible. Vaughn will make the change at the line of scrimmage. He's got 2 receivers to both sides. Now Rigby will be split out wide, drops back to pass, throws a little screen. That's all they've really thrown is these screen passes. It does come close to the first down marker, but they're going to be a couple yards short. And for Collinsville, boy, it would really be aggressive to go for it here on 4th and 2 at your own 23-yard line, and I don't think they'll do it. So they will send the punt unit out. For Dell City now, you just want to watch for a fake.
Right. I mean, it was a nice flare-out screen on there by the Cardinals, but unfortunately not able to come up with that first down. This was a really important drive for Collinsville, so the best thing that they can do is try to get this ball on the other side of the field.
Back for Dell City, number 5, Kevin Blackwolf, and number 7, Nicholas Holmes.
Now you have to kick to Black Wolf, who's had a couple electric punt returns for touchdowns. This is a line drive kick. This is going to go away from him and to Nicholas Holmes. Nicholas Holmes going to stay away from it, let that ball roll all the way to the 29-yard line.
The punt takes a
Great punt. Exactly the position I'm sure that Collinsville wanted to start the Eagles out on offense.
Yeah, boy, I'm sure, like you said, that's an ideal punt. If you're able to keep the ball away from Caleb Blackwolf, not that Nicholas Holmes is somebody you particularly want to have to cover on a kick, but Blackwolf has shown that he's very explosive on kick returns. So it was, pretty much a perfect punt, and then Nicholas wasn't able to get a hold of it either. So back to Dell City up to the 29.
I was actually hoping to see Blackwolf able to return one. We didn't really get to see him return anything last week, and as electric as he was the week previously, I was really excited to see him get to return one.
Agreed. I think everybody at home had the same feeling.
Said put the ball in his hands some way or another.
Overton takes the snap, hands it to Ricklin Holmes. Ricklin runs around the edge, flag down. He's tackled after a pickup of about 3. I think this is going to be a flag on Dell City. It'll be their second in the last 3 plays. After not having one.
Right. They were doing so well earlier, so you really don't want to get too sloppy on these drives. It's really, like I said before, you really want to use this game to kind of clean up some of those mistakes, especially in district plays. Penalties are going to happen, but on that offensive line, just really no reason to hold. You just got to kind of push these guys around if possible.
Well, for Coach Jones, that has to be kind of frustrating.
Definitely.
Getting a hold on a 3-yard run play.
Right. It was quick, Colton. That's why I was kind of surprised it was a holding penalty.
I went back and watched a couple of the holds against Midwest City, and I thought they were a little tic-tac.
Definitely.
I don't ever usually say that, but I didn't agree with a lot of them. Now, here's a deep pass going for Josiah Chester, overthrown at the 40. Good coverage right in the hip pocket by the Cardinal defender, though.
Great coverage, and like we said before, Sincere Overton is airing the ball out nicely, just unable to kind of get that timing down, and that's, where they're kind of struggling at. But like we said before, you really, you got to use these opportunities to try to, do that. You got to use these moments to try to put that ball in the air and try to, develop this relationship with these receivers as much as possible.
5.5 minutes left to go in quarter number 2. Brought to you by Whataburger. Overton again back to pass. Has time. Throws to the right side. Quick pass. Caught. Brought down at the 28-yard line. Couldn't tell who made that catch. Could you, Gordy?
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Cole. Yeah, look, we got Walter Franklin on that, number 4, Walter Franklin. We've kind of seen a little good rotation between him, Quincy Hill, We got Nicholas Holmes as well. Of course, we got Caleb Blackwolf. Quite a bit, a depth at the wide receiver position. And Sincere is really doing a good job by getting the ball out quickly and, being very decisive. It's just like one of those things, he's going to find his groove throughout this game.
3rd and 11. Overton again going to air it out. This one is sky high for Josiah Chester. Chester almost makes a one-handed catch, and boy, I don't know how in the world that was not pass interference. I thought the defender was all over Josiah, but
I was almost certain that they were going to call pass interference, but if not, great technique by number 1 on that. Great coverage. That's really all you can do. And sometimes as a corner, one of the tips that I always give to cornerbacks and anybody playing the defensive back position, if you kind of get that hand and hook that, between the elbow and the arm just a little bit, they're not going to call that one. That's, a good trick to kind of keep up with those quicker and faster receivers. And that way, you won't have to worry about a penalty being called as far as pass interference or holding. Just kind of get that hand just right on that elbow. That way you kind of keep that relationship so you don't get burned out there as a cornerback.
They actually wound up throwing a flag on Dell City, another hold.
Really?
And it was declined. So it'll be 4th down, and Dell City's offense stalling a little bit. Now, one thing, Gordy, that I might would suggest, I guess, just from an armchair quarterback is try to get Sincere in rhythm with some easier passes.
Exactly. A lot of deep balls we're seeing, which are, good because, you want to get the ball in the air. But like you said, simplify it just a little bit. Get this guy in some rhythm. That way he's comfortable. So when he does make those long throws, he kind of knows what kind of touch to put on the ball.
That was a line drive kick, which gives Collinsville a good return to the 39-yard line. A flag was thrown at the 48-yard line. We'll have to check that. I think we're going to get a hold on Collinsville now, which will negate their good field position. That'll bump them back. Flag was thrown at the Eagle 48, so that'll bump them all the way back to the, that's going to be a pretty big penalty for Collinsville.
Right. Looks like we have a bit of a precipitation of flags right now. We had a good thing going that first quarter, but the second quarter, towards the end, we're seeing a lot more flags and penalties on the field right now.
Penalties against Collinsville.
Put it at the 38-yard line. Actually, mark it at the 37-yard line, excuse me. 4:29 left to go in quarter number 2. This game, to quote Jim Ross, maybe a little bowling shoe ugly at times. Both teams struggling to get things going. There's been some pretty plays.
Been some good ones.
But for the most part, we're looking at bowling shoes.
Right.
Which a lot of times that happens. 2 good football teams opening out in district play, trying to put themselves in the driver's seat early. Sometimes you get ugly.
Definitely. You can see both teams are really just trying to get it going. And Dell City's doing a good job of, pushing the ball. But like we said before, not really having a lot of success on these deep balls. So we'll see if Collinsville can, make a scoring run here.
Ball on play action. Quick pass. Caught. Nice throw. Out to midfield.
Nice little pitch and catch.
2nd and 1 coming up for the Cardinals. They have yet to take a real deep shot. They've thrown a lot of screen plays. They've thrown a couple of those little curl routes, hitch routes to the outside, but nothing super deep, which tells you they don't know that their guys are athletic enough to get past Dell City, so they're going to try to keep it in front. Wouldn't surprise me here in a moment on one of these short yardage situations if they try to take a shot.
Right. You got to take at least one,
just to see if something can be there.
Definitely.
Over the middle, nice pass again, caught by number 1 to the 38-yard line.
Once again, we're seeing Daniels able to, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ben Daniels on the catch.
Yeah.
You got it right.
That's right.
And we're actually having to use Max Prep's rosters, so we're hoping that is right.
But yeah, Daniels, he's a really quick receiver, great hands as we can see. He's able to kind of, from the little bit of, work that they have done today, you can see he's a really good route runner as well. So the quarterback, being a really decisive guy, is able to kind of get that out to him really quickly. So he's, making a really good name for himself here today.
If Collinsville's able to score here, they're right back in this ball game feeling pretty good. Back to pass. There's their shot. Caught! 15, 10, 5, touchdown Cardinals. What a pass from Carter Vaughn. 3 passes in a row.
Right.
And just like that, we've got ourselves a ball game with 3:15 left to go in the second quarter.
Once again, we are bragging on this kid just a little bit. Ben Daniels able to kind of get free on that, flag route. Great throw by the quarterback as well. And, Colt was just touching on it. We knew that they would, take their chance and try to go deep. Great coverage, but despite that, he was able to kind of put on a good move and then was able to break out and great catch and great run to the end zone. Good job by Collinsville. Now we got us a game, folks.
You know, the coverage by Caden Johnson was actually good. I think Caden tried to jump, maybe misread the pass a little bit. I thought for a second it was going to be intercepted. Instead, it goes in for the end zone for a touchdown. Extra point is a beauty. It's good. 13-7. Folks, we've got a good one here on the opening game for district play for the Eagles. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Right.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers.
If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call me.
Back with you here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 13-7 now the score. Dell City on top with 3:15 in the second quarter. A great pass from Connor Vaughn to Ben Daniels for the touchdown to get Collinsville on the board. And, man, just whenever you thought there was a couple moments there where you thought Dell City was going to run away with this, just like that, boom, we've got ourselves a ball game. And now Collinsville, if their defense is able to get a stop here before the half, this could really get interesting.
Right.
High kick that's going to go straight out of bounds. That'll give Dell City good field position to the 35-yard line. And, Sincere Overton tonight, his return, everyone was so excited about it. You can tell the coaching staff was excited about it, Gordy, because they have tried to air it out, but maybe need to try to maybe take some easier passes to really get him in a groove.
Right.
There's been a lot of deep passes. He's not been able to connect on those, but he has connected on the short passes.
He's able to get, some really good, air under the ball. And we like what we see. We know he has a strong arm, but you just hit it right on the head. Let's get this guy comfortable, especially in the pocket. He has so many weapons at receiver. I know it's probably hard to make a choice on who he wants to go to, but like I said, simplify it for this guy. Make it easy. That way we can actually make some moves and move that offense the way it needs to move.
Hand off to Rickland Holmes. He takes it past the 40 to the 41-yard line. Good pickup on first down for Rickland. Collinsville, compared to last season to this season, the biggest thing that stands out to me is they're not afraid to stick their nose in there and make tackles.
Right.
Last season, that was not the case. It was a physical mismatch between the two teams. This season, they're making some tackles. They're playing really physical football.
Right. Physical play by both teams today.
Overton has three receivers to his right. Hand off to Holmes again. Holmes going to start inside, now take it outside. If he flag comes down as he takes it past midfield to the 40 to the 42, but that's going to come back on a hold, I believe.
Number 1, Rickland Holmes on the carry.
Just a drive killer. Unfortunately, another holding penalty by the Dell City Eagles. This is what you really don't want, Cole. They had a really good thing going, but like we said earlier, you don't have to hold. You really just kind of got to get your arms square and got to, push these guys back. Really want to put a body on a person. But like I said, it's going to be a killer. It'll be really hard to get going when you got penalties setting you back like this.
I think they got a hold on the right tackle, which was Arian Daniels. Just as that's the dangerous side about trying to kick it outside as a running back, is that a lot of times it's hard for those tackles to hold those blocks.
You see that a lot. And these guys are, for the Cardinals, they're coming. They are coming. They are trying to hit today, and they are not shying away from trying to get to the quarterback. So you really got to be decisive.
This time Overton going to keep it. He has nowhere to go. He's brought down for possibly a loss. It'll be 3rd and long coming up for Dell City.
Once again, good job by the Cardinals, able to read that coming out. Sincere try to bounce it out, but Collinsville is actually moving really well on that defensive line, so they were able to kind of crash down and stop Overton for no gain at all.
3rd and 12. 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. 18 seconds left on the play clock. Let's see if Dell City takes their time to get this snap off or not. Dell City really needs a play here. Brings the receiver in motion from right to left. It's Blackwolf. Back to passes Overton. Pressure coming. He avoids it. Gets it out to the right side. Now he's got to look to throw. He's going to throw it up in the air, and it's incomplete. I think he was just trying to throw a jump ball for Josiah Chester, but really didn't give Chester much of a chance, as Chester did not go upfield. That's what they're talking about. I think maybe Sincere thought he was going to take off upfield. He did not. So it'll be a 3-and-out for Dell City, and my goodness, Collinsville, earlier when it was 13-0, if you'd have dropped a pin on their sideline, Gordy, everybody would have turned and looked at you. Now they're making some noise. They're on their feet. The Cardinals are feeling good.
Yeah, they are back in the ball game, and kind of not, shying away from, the defense. But Dell City has really got to put their players in better position. Really, on a possession like that where you really only need 12, we had everybody running deep routes on that one. And that's when, you have so much speed. You really want to make it easier on the quarterback and give him a shorter route. That way he has more to work with. And when you have the amount of time that Sincere has had, these last few times to throw the ball, just make it easy on him. Like, give him a shorter route, give him one where you can able to get that first down and keep that ball moving.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's something that will have to be adjusted at halftime for Dell City. Overton is capable of hitting the deep throws. Yeah. But, again, it's –
sometimes you can almost, think a little bit too much and kind of, you trying new things and really trying to, get everybody involved. But what we said earlier, you really don't want to get away from the game plan, which is hindering your team. You really want to do something that they can actually build on, especially going into the half. You really want to make these drives count.
Now with 1:30 to go in the half, Collinsville has 2 timeouts to work with and a short field. They do have a pretty good kicker as well, so they're probably hoping to get this ball close to field goal range as, possibly 1 goal, but also, heck, if they score a touchdown, they can take the lead into the half. This could really change things quickly.
Definitely. Vaughn did a really good job of controlling the offense, so let's see if he can do something here.
Well, he does. He throws a great pass as he was being hit.
Definitely.
Right as he threw it, completed out to midfield. Nice pickup of 7 yards. Carter Vaughn, I am just really impressed by him as a sophomore quarterback.
Standing still in the pocket, it looks like he took a bit of a hit on that play, but like you said before, he's making really good decisions, getting the ball to where it needs to. On that last play, you seen he got the ball up high, where his receiver can get to it and come down with it. So really good job by Vaughn on these plays.
Important to note, the clock did not stop. 55 seconds, handoff to Rigby. Rigby goes up to the middle, cuts it out to the left side, gets the first down to the 46-yard line. Clock will stop at 50 seconds momentarily while they set the chains. But a lot of time ran off, and I don't know that Collinsville knew it. I think they thought the receiver had got out of bounds in that last play. He did not, so they lost.
Quite a bit of time. Now they're left and they
clock running again
here.
And they're taking their time getting this play in. Boy, this is interesting, as you would think Collinsville would want to be a little more aggressive. 35 seconds left to go in the half. Back to pass is Vaughn. Vaughn has a clean pocket. Throws over the middle. Has a man open. It was Ben Johnson thrown a little bit behind Johnson. And Caden Johnson, I think, was the guy that came in from behind. Almost picked it off.
Great coverage by Caden Johnson on that one. Saved a touchdown, to say the least, on that one. But Vaughn, looking to hook up with Daniels again on that play. He actually had a great route ran. But, again, great defense on that one by the Dell City Eagles.
Now, folks, I'm sure if you're sitting at home, you can tell by watching on the camera, the black uniforms with the red numbers are a little tough to see. I'm having a tough time with it, so I think that was Caden Johnson on the cover.
No, you're right, Cole. You're right.
2nd and 10. Vaughn again back to pass. Faced a little bit of pressure, still was able to get it off, and this ball is in the hands and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Black Wolf in coverage. He was beat. Coach Jones is looking at him like, what happened there? But, man, Collinsville maybe has found a recipe to some success, putting the ball in the air on these Eagles. With 21 seconds left to go, it's 3rd and 10. And a couple perhaps lucky breaks for Dell City as there was a couple wide open guys.
I'm telling you. Great looks by Vaughn. Vaughn is actually doing really well, putting the ball right on the money. But Caleb Blackwolf, great position. Even though he didn't get that head around, like Coach, Jones looked at him and gave him that look like, hey, man, you were almost beat. But he was able to get those hands off and knock that down.
Handoff to Rigby up the middle to the 40. Let's see if Collinsville decides to run this clock all the way down and take a timeout and maybe just take one deep shot to end the half, or if they just want to go ahead and go to the locker room. That call right there made you think, hey, I don't want to turn the ball over.
Right.
They're going to call timeout with 3.9 seconds left in the half. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see what Collinsville does. 13-7, Dell City on top. But, boy, the Collinsville Cardinals are starting to catch momentum. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and ask yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Back with you on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3 seconds left to go in the half. It's 4th down for Collinsville. They'll send the offense out. You'd imagine you'd probably get one little Hail Mary opportunity here. Vaughn instead going to throw it over the middle, and it's dropped incomplete. Probably was not going to go anywhere anyway. So that'll take us to the locker room. 13-7 our score, and we're going to stay here just one moment. As soon as it calms down, just a moment, I'm going to send it down to Peyton Davis to let us kind of get an update from the sidelines. But Gordy, just a change in the ball game right now, and at 13-7, it's completely different. It feels a lot different than what it did at 13-0. So Peyton, what are you seeing down there? How has the momentum changed on this Dell City sideline?
Yeah, those 4 things this quarter are very concerning. In my mind, it's those holding calls that are put Collinsville back in the game with it being 13-7. There's definitely been a shift in energy from both sidelines the past 12 minutes, but it should be a competitive second half nonetheless.
Right. Yep, it should be a competitive half. This is going to be this is good for Dell City, though, in some ways because they've got a stretch here where there's going to be games that will not be close. They're not going to be tested. And so this is a game they're being tested early, and this is probably what Coach Jones wants to see.
Definitely. As a team like Dell City, as well as they are built and as athletic as they are, you just can't let up. When you play against a team like Collinsville, they are well coached. They are a well-oiled machine. Like we said before, you have to respect a team with a 3-0 record regardless. When you're coming into a game like this, obviously they have their ducks in a row. Obviously they have, what they need, as far as consistency goes. But Dell City, they can't let up. Regardless of how you come out and if you feel like you might have the game in hand, you really can't give anybody the opportunity. Like Peyton said earlier, with holding penalties, anything like we said earlier, you have to stack up possessions. You have to use each possession as if it's the last. And when you have penalties, that could just be a killer for momentum.
Looks like Dell City's Palm Squad is on the field here. So here in just a moment, you're already getting to see it, but we're going to just send it to them here in just a moment. But this halftime show is brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. And again, the key phrase this week is touchdown, and that will get you 10% off all purchases. This week they're open from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday and Monday. And they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner specials daily. So keep that in mind. Breakfast served all day, and on Thanksgiving, they're going to give out free Thanksgiving dinners on Thanksgiving Day. So that's pretty cool. We thank Madison's for their sponsorship, and we will let you enjoy this halftime show while we take a quick break.
And now entering the field is the Dell City Eagle Marching Band under the direction of DJ Handy, Andrew Cox, Rebecca Henderson, Sarah Hamill, Seth Cox, Lauren Ashley, and Lily Goodman. Conducting the band are our drum majors, senior Elena Durham and junior Layla Hooks. Inspired by the music of Hans Zimmer from Dune and Dune Part 2, the Dell City Eagle Marching Band is proud to perform their marching show known as the Rainmakers. Give it up one more time for your Dell City Eagle Screaming Marching Band. it up one more time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Dell City Eagles, screaming marching band.
Man, great halftime show by the Dell City marching band. You know, Gordy, was pretty cool. My brother-in-law is in the marching band for Edmond Memorial, and they had a big band competition at Deer Creek last week. And Dell City came in and really performed well at that, from what I understand. They actually finished in the top 8, which is a really big accomplishment. They were facing some of the best bands in the state. So that was a really cool accomplishment for this Dell City band. And you can see, I mean, just watching them on the field here, they're a talented group.
Very much so. Very good, entertaining halftime performance by the Dell City Eagle Band. I love seeing, I love, music and love percussion and everything involved in music as well. So, great job by these guys. They have put on very entertaining performances, every week since we've been in the booth.
Lucky to have them. Good job for them. This halftime show brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. And one more time, I just want to tell you again, if you just go in there and you just tell them the keyword touchdown this week, you're going to get 10% off all purchases. And, boy, their food is really, really good. I just keep hearing everybody that is involved with our crew going to eat there and coming back with great reports, which is great. So we appreciate Madison's Country Cooking and their sponsorship with these halftime shows. And we will continue to show you the Dell City Marching Band, their performances for the home games. And, Gordy, this game a lot closer than what it seemed like it was going to be there for a while. Huh? Only a one-score game, 6-point game at 13-7, Dell City on top. But they were up 13-0, had possession, and Peyton Davis, our sideline reporter, kind of hit the nail on the head. Those holding penalties stalled a bunch of drives, but there's been other things that have also stalled this offensive. Right.
Like we said earlier, trying to get Sincere Overton involved in the game, and Sincere has done a really good job, making his presence known in the game, but unfortunately not able to complete some of those deep balls. And like we said earlier, really trying to build these relationships with these receivers. I mean, a talented group of receivers we already know that the Dell City Eagles have, but unfortunately not able to capitalize on some of these and turning the ball over. They've allowed Collinsville, the Cardinals, to kind of make their way back into the game.
Back in the game they are. It is a tight ball game. I want to remind everybody that you can watch the Oklahoma Sports Network in multiple different ways. So you can get on YouTube if you would like. So that's one way a lot of people do it. They have YouTube, the app, on their TV. They just go to the YouTube app and they can watch the game live. In fact, we have 118 people doing that right now. And one of them is Arthur Holmes, who checked in and said, "I see you, Nick." That was in regards to the pick six earlier. So, Arthur, hello. Thank you for watching. But there's other ways to watch. You can also download the Oklahoma Sports Network on your phone. Right. And you can go back in demand and actually watch these games. You can watch them live, and you can watch multiple different schools. So on Friday nights, it gives you more entertainment. The other thing you can also do is you can download it to your Roku device, the app. You can download it to your Apple TV, any of those type of things. The Oklahoma Sports Network is available for you to watch those games. So you can also tune in. You can, of course, check us out at oksportsnet.com, our website. You can watch it that way, the old-fashioned way as well. Whatever way you choose to do it, we appreciate that you do. Definitely. And these Dell City Eagles are on their way to another very successful season. They've got a tough game tonight. And, after this, we've got some road trips to make. Gordy, we got to go to Tulsa next week. And if I'm not mistaken, we have to go to Tulsa actually 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row. Excited about both of those games. I think, Dell City taking this show on the road, and that's really what we want to see. We want to see how these guys respond to, against competition and on their home field. We're able to see them against the Edmond Memorial Bulldogs, the first game of the season. But that was just, kind of a pre-season game, where they were kind of shaking off some of that rust and trying to, get used to, being on the ball field. But able to travel up to Tulsa next week, I'm excited about that. Able to see what we're able to do against, some of these Tulsa schools.
Yeah, Tulsa Memorial and Tulsa Hale. Those are the two we'll be on the road against.
Great.
October 3rd and October 10th. Both those teams are not going to be what we're seeing here tonight. This Collinsville team is going to be one of the tougher opponents that Dell City will see. Right. The Tahlequah game, October 24th at Tahlequah, that could be a little bit of a test. Yeah. But those last three games of the year, Tahlequah, Claremore, and Pryor, those will be when Dell City's really tested. Right. But this test tonight for the Eagles is important because they need to see what they're made of. Coach Jones needs to see what they're made of. And it's a challenge for them because, like you talked about, Sincere Overton, one of the best quarterbacks in 5A, if not the best. He is very, very good.
No doubt.
But he has not played this season. This is his debut, and they're still trying to get used to that. And so I think that the chemistry is just taking some time.
And that's it. And that's all we're really seeing. We know that all these guys have such great speed. Don't throw in the deep balls. There's an art to it. And like we said before, we're not really sure how much Sincere was able to practice with the team, throughout the week, especially, the weeks previously. But it's like one of those things, like we said before, trying to, establish that communication, establish this relationship is one of the things that's just going to take some time to kind of open that up a little bit.
All right, so we will take a break here, folks. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the half. They'll add a little bit of time to that, I'm sure, as well, and get these teams out here. But we're going to take a quick commercial break. Halftime show brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. Dell City leads at 13-7. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Yep.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Loading onto our conveyor belt is incredibly low stress and easy. The conveyor belt can fit vehicles up to 96 inches wide, so even dually trucks can fit. As you approach the tunnel, use the large red balls as a visual to guide you onto the belt. Slow your vehicle down and follow the prompts on the screen. No more worrying about damaging your rims and tires with an old-fashioned chain and pulley system.
Try it out and love your ride.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers.
If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Back with you here on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Good halftime break there. Good entertainment that we got to see from the Dell City Marching Band. Again, all brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. The third quarter coming up will be brought to you by our really good friend. He's been with us for a long time, Bobby Lewis Insurance. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you. You can go to Choctaw, 405-281-6700, and the Dell City location, 405-670-3665. And, everybody that I've talked to about Bobby Lewis has talked about how good of a guy he is. So if you need good insurance, you want to get quotes on insurance, give Bobby a call. He'll be happy to help you out. He is our third and fourth quarter sponsor here for the second half. And Dell City deferred, so they actually have the ball to start the second half here in just a moment. We'll get to the kick. I want to send it down to our sideline reporter, Peyton Davis. And, Peyton, you talked about a little bit that you were noticing those hold calls, and it was causing some frustration on the sideline. Do they look more rejuvenated down there now, ready for the second half?
I think that right now they do. The players know it's a close game. This isn't going to be an easy one. So just getting those holding calls cleaned up, I think, is really going to do a lot for this team, and then hopefully get that energy back going. We'll see if they come out here and do some good stuff at the start of the third.
Absolutely. Thank you, Peyton. Appreciate it. Collinsville will be kicking from right to left on your screen to start the second half. Back to return for Dell City, Caleb Blackwolf and Josiah Chester, 2 dangerous guys. Collinsville's kicker did appear to have a pretty strong leg, so we'll see if he wants to put this ball deep or not. He has kicked the ball out of bounds, though, once, so it kind of seems like Collinsville wants to keep this ball out of the hands of the return men for Dell City.
Right.
Second half of action just about underway. This is a high end-over-end kick, which will be returnable for Caleb Blackwolf. Here we go. Blackwolf returns it. Good coverage downfield by Collinsville. Stops him at the 25-yard line. Nicely done by the Cardinals. They're really starting to play a good game here. Now, Gordy, I messed up, and I forgot to mention, It wasn't on my list, and I forgot to mention our starting lineup sponsor earlier today. We kind of skipped over it. We had a lot going on before the football game, so we didn't get to go to that. But I do want to just briefly tell you about our really good friend. This is one of our better sponsors, and this guy is somebody that I know and trust. The Oklahoma Sports Network loves DC Transmissions. Dell City graduate Tom Fisher owns it. He's been serving the community for 48 years. Go check him out if you need any things with your car fixed at 4737 Southeast 29th Street. Sincere Overton takes the first carry to start the second half to the right side to the 31-yard line, and another flag on the play. This time the White Hat will call another hold.
Not quite the way you want to start off a drive on that one, Colton, but we can see the Dell City Eagles are really trying to get right back to Overton, to see if he can control this game a little bit better. But not the way you want to start out. I mean, we had holding penalties, throughout the first, half, really more in the second quarter. But Dell City really wants to, kind of keep these at a minimal if possible.
Yeah, I mean, this is what you and Peyton have been talking about. These are things that this is what's causing Dell City the biggest problem. Right. I mean, we can talk about they've thrown a lot of deep passes. They haven't been able to get in a rhythm, but you can't get in a rhythm whenever you're having holding calls. And this has been – they've been so good and so much better than their opponents to this point in the last 2 weeks. But tonight, they're not going to be able to get away with it as they're going to get a false start now. Again, just not in sync. And it's reminiscent. There's some teams in college, some big-time programs, the Texas Longhorns. Mm-hmm. Look at them. I mean, they've had trouble getting in sync with Arch Manning, one of the most talented quarterbacks in the country, and they've had a little bit of trouble getting in sync. It happens for everybody.
It happens for everybody. Pros, college, even in high school as we're seeing today. It's just one of those things where it could just be a momentum killer, and it's just so deflating, for, any coach and for any offense when they just really can't get, exactly in the groove and in the play style that they want to do. But, Dell City, they've had a good thing going these last few weeks. I think, having sincerity into the offense, they want to do so much. They really just got to relax, and try to execute as best as possible.
It's 1st and 25 for the Eagles. Sincere just going to run it straight to the left side. Not much going. And Collinsville now is basically just playing to what Dell City has shown them.
Right.
Dell City has not really opened the playbook up a whole lot. And I think Collinsville now is almost guessing.
Right.
Like they know what's going to be coming. And so you got to wonder if at some point Dell City tries to run some different plays, tries to run, like you mentioned earlier, some crossing routes, maybe some quicker screen passes to try to get guys in space just to let your athletes go to work.
Exactly. Playing against a team that is undefeated, we know that there is some consistency there. And what Collinsville is actually showing us is that they're kind of staying consistent with the play. They're not getting outside themselves. They're able to kind of step Dell City in their tracks. And another unfortunate incompletion, by Overton. Looks like a pass that, Walter Franklin could have brought in, but a little bit on that outside shoulder, so unable to come up with the completion on that one.
Yeah, Walter was definitely open. I mean, there's a huge cushion out there.
Right.
The ball was underthrown, unfortunately, and now Dell City facing third down, and there's a really long way to go. I think for the Eagles in where they're at right now, Coach Jones has always been really aggressive in these situations. How aggressive do you really want to be right here, though? Because if you turn this football over, it could be huge. But look at Dell City. I mean, they're coming out 4 receivers here to the near side, 1 to the far side. Overton back there all by himself. Takes the snap. It's a 4-man rush. Has time. Throws over the middle. Intercepted. Picked off at the 30. 25, 20. Cuts it back inside. 15, 10. 1 man to beat. Down to the 1-yard line. It's going to be first and goal for Collinsville. Was that Ben Daniels again?
Once again, number 1, making a play on the ball.
Oh, they called a touchdown.
That was
a late call. Ties this ball game up at 13. And Eagle is down on the play, down around the pylon. But with 10:43 left to go in the third quarter, this ball game is tied up.
Great job by Daniels. Unfortunately, just a read that Sincere Overton, I'm sure that he would really like to have back. He kind of really had his eyes set on that receiver. Once they broke out, they had trips to the right, trying to go for the deep ball on that one. Of course, it's down in distance. So, the defense, they already knew what was coming, basically. All Daniels did was basically keep his eyes straight on Sincere Overton's pass and was able to cut that right off. Once again, number 1 for the Collinsville Cardinals, being a playmaker and being able to make another change in this ball game. So now Collinsville has the momentum.
Collinsville an extra point away from the lead. Kick is up. Kick is good. Collinsville takes the lead over Dell City. Upset alert possibly. The Dell City Eagles trailing by 1, 14-13, 10:43 left to go in the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Eagle football on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Loading onto our conveyor belt is incredibly low stress and easy. The conveyor belt can fit vehicles up to 96 inches wide, so even dually trucks can fit. As you approach the tunnel, use the large red balls as a visual to guide you onto the belt. Slow your vehicle down and follow the prompts on the screen. No more worrying about damaging your rims and tires with an old-fashioned chain and pulley system.
Try it out and love your...
10:43 left to go in the third quarter. Collinsville on top, 14-13 over Dell City. This is a high kick that's going to go, oh my goodness, barely went out of bounds. Almost a recovery for Collinsville, which would have really put the Eagles' backs against the wall. Dell City caught a break on that one.
Right.
They'll end up getting good field position out of it.
Not something I really would want to do as a kicker. I think they were really trying to pin them, in a certain position. That way they can kind of get, good field position on that next possession, but really giving Dell City a good break on this one by, giving them better field position that they had, this last out. So we'll see if Dell City can get something going. What we really got to do is be really decisive on our play call in this one and, cut the penalties out. That's just one thing that we just really can't have.
Let's see if they can get it going. Like you just said, the penalties, but they've got to find a way to get the run game going too.
Right,
they've got it without it just relying 100% on Sincere Overton. They've got to find other guys to make some carries, and that's what they'll do. Rickland Holmes gets the carry. A tough run up the middle, but not much going. Maybe a gain of 2, maybe 3 as he gets the ball to the 38-yard line. 2nd down and 7 coming up for Dell City.
Not showing a lot of blitz, but the Cardinals are really showing a lot of, moving in the box and kind of bunching the box up. Every time we have these runs up the middle, they're really able to come downhill really quickly and not allowing Holmes to kind of get any space. So really what his bread and butter is kind of getting going, but they really kind of cut that off at the pass and able to stop him at the line of scrimmage.
Overton the snap, back to pass. Quick pass out to Josiah Chester. Got it. Chester to the 45, gets the first down to the 48 as he'll be taken out of bounds right there. They're going to mark him at midfield exactly, actually. So there you go. That's what Dell City needs. They need to get that going.
Exactly. Great pitch and catch and great read by the quarterback. Great, decisive pass. And that's like you said, Colt, that's really what they got to do. Make it simple. Get those balls out to your receivers. You can't count on these guys. These are star guys. These are guys with speed. So you just really got to trust yourself.
Overton now going to get a carry to the left side. Cuts it back to the 45-yard line. Pick up a 5. It'll be second down and 5.
Again, another good cut up the middle. Really on that one, I kind of would have liked to see, Sincere kind of break on that and use that speed to kind of get to that edge. Yeah. But it's one of those things. Sometimes you kind of see these blockers, and when you have your own blocker, you kind of want to use him as that shield. And runners, sometimes they kind of tend to follow those lead blocks and, try to see if they can get that extra yard up the middle. But Sincere really has to trust his speed, and try to use that to, get on that outside edge.
Yeah, you read my mind. I thought the same thing. Overton back to pass, pumps. Now he's going to look deep. One side, looks to the other side, has a man open, but it's overthrown yet again. It looked like Walter Franklin was grabbed.
Right. It was a stop-and-go play, and the way he hesitated is just a little bit too long of the hesitation before Sincere was really not anticipating the stop-and-go. That's where you want to kind of give that pump fake, but as he was kind of slowing down Franklin, he was kind of like letting that ball go. So really getting that timing down, and like we said before, kind of shaking those, plays off and shaking some of that rust off, really just trying to get that down. But it was a great play call, but on a hitch and go, you really, like if you are in Franklin's position, you really got to make that believable. And like I said, in Sincere's case, you really got to be able to get that one over the top.
Well, he's been a couple times with the Dell City coaching staff has thought there's been interference, has just not gotten the calls.
Right.
Overton going to run to the right side, and he's not going to get a lot. Going to get forward to maybe the 43-yard line. It'll bring up 4th down and 3 for Dell City. And I would imagine Dell City decides to go for it. No, does not look like that. They may go ahead and kick it away.
What I'm starting to see, Cole, we got to get a better push on the offensive line. The offensive line, they've been on the field quite a bit, but what we're seeing right now is that they're really not able to get a push on these Cardinals defense. Collinsville is actually, being the aggressor on this one. We know how strong Dell City is, but really they have to use that edge that they have to be able to push, and use this talent that they have on the backfield.
Well, Dell City, I was wrong, actually is going to go for it, but they called timeout. They brought out Rickland Holmes and Caleb Blackwolf into the backfield with Sincere, and before they could even get a chance to run the play, a timeout was called. We'll take a timeout with them. Boy, this game is tight. 14-13, Collinsville on top of Dell City. 8:45 left to go in the third quarter. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Back live with you. It's a quick snap, and before the snap got off, a flag was thrown. Sorry, we were late getting back to you. It's going to be a false start by Dell City. I don't think they got the first down anyways on the play. So now it's going to be 4th and 8, and I think Dell City has to go ahead and probably punt this one away.
Trying to go with, the quick hike on that one and trying to get the ball off a little bit faster. Unfortunately, all the guys weren't set.
Oh, wait a second here. Collinsville saying they want to decline the penalty, but so that means maybe it was not a dead ball. It might. We'll have to wait and see. Let's wait for the white hat. Yeah. It is a false start, so it'll remain 4th down. So 4th and 8. Dell City has another shot at this, or they can punt it away. Gordy, what would you do? I mean, I would punt this away.
We got 4th and short right on the 50. Thing we know about Dell City is they have speed. The only thing that hasn't been able to happen tonight is they haven't really been able to get any push on the offensive line, and we really haven't had a lot of success, or we really haven't been even trying a lot of the quick routes. The one quick route that we did see, we were able to get out on that hitch. But like I said, unless they plan on doing something like that, getting that ball on the outside, I would punt it away if I were the Dell City Eagles. But it looks like they're going to try to, go along with this read, and hopefully Sincere can get it out pretty quickly.
Need to get the ball to the 40. Overton back to pass. Has time. Clean pocket. Stepping up. Throws. Over the middle. It's incomplete. He had a couple guys open. Black Wolf and Josiah Chester both were open. The ball was just overthrown. It'll be a turnover on downs. Collinsville going to take over with good field position right around midfield at the 48.
It was a good play call, to say the least. The only thing, we talked about it earlier, the timing is just not there, unfortunately, between the receiver and the quarterback. Caleb Blackwolf actually had the position, but Sincere Overton just throwing the ball just a little bit behind Blackwolf on that one.
Boy, Dell City almost looks a little bit shocked on the sidelines, like they're just a little surprised what's going on. They've been hit in the mouth, to be frank about it, and this is a huge possession for the Eagles. My, how this game has just totally flipped. From 13-0, Dell City looked like they were going to run away with it. Now they're trailing by 1, back totally against the wall. 8:20 left to go in the third quarter. The defense going to have to bail out the Eagles. Handoff to Rigby, nowhere to go. Great job. I believe Basil Gunter was the very first man in there to make the tackle.
Good job by Gunter on that one, and good stop by the Dell City defensive line. That's what it's going to take, Colt. They really are going to have to tighten up on that defense. I mean, they've been doing a really good job of tackling, a good job of wrapping up. What we really can't do is give the ball away as far as in the air. These defensive backs have to really do all they can, to stop. And we got 4 wide here, so we'll definitely see what we were talking about.
2nd down and 9 coming up for Collinsville. Quick pass. Caught. 45. Flag down to the 38, and I think they're going to get a hold finally on Collinsville. Right. Caught a break because that was a first down. Got it down to the 38-yard line. Daniels has been causing some problems for this Eagle defense.
No doubt. We love what we're seeing from this kid. The quarterback as well as Vaughn. He's getting the ball out quickly. It was a great play. Unfortunately, it'll be called back for the Collinsville Cardinals, but good break for the Dell City Eagle defense on that one because they gave up quite a few yards on that one.
Yeah, there's not been a lot of penalties called on Collinsville tonight, so that's the first one. Dell City's had plenty of holds go against them, so finally the roles are reversed.
All right.
Get one on Collinsville. It'll be 2nd and long for the Cardinals now. 7.5 minutes left to go in quarter number 3. And again, if you're just now joining us, Dell City led this game 13-0, had the ball. Collinsville looked defeated, and just out of nowhere, a quick strike, a couple of really good throws by the quarterback Vaughn, puts them in the end zone, makes it 13-7. And then right out of the gate here, they get a pick 6 to start the second half, puts them in the lead.
You give a team a little bit of confidence like that, and you just keep that door open, any good team is never going to quit. They're going to keep, doing what they can, and especially doing what they can, what got them here in the first place. So Collinsville, they're not going to lay down. They're going to make it as hard as they can on this Eagles defense or, this whole Eagles team to see if they can come out with a victory tonight.
2nd and 15. Handoff again. Running to the right side. Has room. I think they got the first down. Rigby with a really great run. Got it all the way down to the 43. They'll mark him a yard shy. It'll be 3rd and 1 coming up for Collinsville. And that's the kind of stuff Dell City just cannot have happen. You cannot let a 14-yard run go right up the middle at you.
Just a dive, straight up the middle. Dell City is better than this, and that's what we have to do. They haven't, shown a lot of aggression, but what they really have to do, is kind of show the Cardinals whose home field is this. We have to tighten up on that defensive line right now.
Tight end in motion from right to left. Another handoff.
Once again.
Another good run up the middle. Spinning. Just not finishing tackles to the 31. Another tough run by this running back. And, he has really been pretty impressive tonight.
Love what I'm seeing from Scott Rigby. He actually reminds me of a Mike Allstott. He's hitting that hole hard. He's staying high, and not, really affected by any of these tackles that's coming his way. Good hands on the ball. Dell City has really just got to do what they can. I mean, you know what's kind of coming. You really have to kind of key on some of these guys. Number 1, number 3, and number 6, of course. You know, these are their main players. So we really got to keep eyes on these guys because we know that they're going to be their playmakers for the rest of the night.
Now going to run a pass to the near side. Perfect throw just through the hands of the receiver. Incomplete. Right. Second down and 10. You know, that Dell City, that's almost like doing them a favor because their defensive line right now is really struggling.
Right. They're rotating guys in and out. Like I said, we've seen same thing with Gunner. We've seen, some of the freshmen as well, coming in and Damani. But like I said, we really have to, get in the middle of these gaps and be able to kind of stop Rigby from able to, making these dive runs. But they're really having a lot of success, on getting these guys spread apart on the defensive line.
Now you got to watch Ben Daniels. He's lined up in the slot right now. Safety over the top is the one covering him. Rolling to the right side. Perfect throw by Vaughn. Completed. First down inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. The tight end makes that catch and moves the sticks yet again. Puts the Cardinals into the red zone. Continuing to be impressed with this quarterback play.
Not sure if that's the first catch we've seen tonight from number 18, Jonathan Gayton. But like I said, really great size receiver, and I believe that this guy is a freshman. But once again, great job by Vaughn, finding that open receiver. He actually had 2 receivers open on that right side, but great job by Vaughn able to find that receiver and move the ball down to the first down.
This is a young football team for Collinsville,
right? If
that's the case. Man in motion to the left is Daniels. That's who he was looking for. Now throws over the middle. This was his third. Look at him look through his progressions as Vaughn was wanting to go to Daniels, winds up throwing it. I guess he did go ahead and throw it to Daniels anyway, but he was looking at him, looked away, and then came back to him. That's a mature play. Second down and 5 coming up.
Very mature. You see the decisiveness with Vaughn has just been impressive throughout the night. And, of course, he goes to his reliable receiver, in Daniels. And Daniels is really doing a good job of spacing himself out.
Dell City's defense really struggling right now. Another pass on an RPO. Caught down to the 1. Dragging a tackler. Brought down there. First and goal. Coming up for the Cardinals. This has been the best drive of the night for Collinsville.
Vaughn is pretty much throughout the night been almost automatic. What I really like for what I'm seeing from this kid is he's going with his first decision. I mean, the precise passing is really just kind of catching the Dell City Eagles defense off guard. They're not really used to a quarterback who's actually passing as accurate as he is.
Wildcat formation, up the middle, Rigby. Into the end zone, touchdown, Collinsville. Wow. 3 scores unanswered for the Cardinals.
This is how it happens. You really got to come ready for a consistent team, and we've said this, previously. This team is consistent, and this team is tough. They're not going to lay down, and they're not going to give Dell City any breaks on this one. So Dell City's going to have to wake up and realize that they've got a ball game on their hands now.
You look at the score from last season, Dell City winning by 51 points at Collinsville. Mm-hmm. I don't think anybody saw this coming tonight.
No.
And right now, they've got Dell City on the ropes.
I had a feeling it'll be a good game, Cole. Anytime a team comes in undefeated, you know that they're doing something right. But Dell City is really going to have to know that, they do have a good football team. I wouldn't say they have the better football team. That's, something to be found out later. But Dell City does have a lot of weapons. They're really just going to have to utilize what they have. And on defense, they're really going to have to try to be consistent in getting that ball, out of Vaughn's hands because Vaughn is really on fire at the moment.
Now, there are 2 flags on the play. One's going to be roughing the kicker. The other one is the far line judge who threw the flag. Referees having a conversation about it.
Looks like Coach Jarvis is having a bit of a discussion with the referee as well.
Yeah. Coach Cox is out there as well trying to find out what's the conversation.
It's a battle. And when it gets like this, when it gets tight like this, this is when you kind of, bring those emotions out in coaches and players as well. But Dell City is really just going to have to stick to what they know, and be consistent in stopping. And, especially when we get back on offense, Dell City is going to have to make a move and use this talent to, drive the ball down the field.
Still a conversation being had. The White Hat is speaking with the head coach of Collinsville. So I'm wondering a little bit if this is not possibly offsides maybe on Dell City and roughing the kicker, which means they would – I think the extra point was good. Let's see. No, they're actually sending the special teams unit back out.
So they're seeing if they want to go ahead and rerun that play.
Penalty was offsides against Dell City.
Okay. So
Extra point comes off the board. Collinsville is going for 2.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Looks like Collinsville's going to go for 2.
Yep.
They called offsides and roughing the kicker both. So now they're going to put Collinsville. I don't think they're going for 2, though. I think they're kicking it again. So he actually must have missed the extra point, Gordy. That must have been what happened.
It had to be.
So that's why they're going to kick it again.
Right.
Yeah, so they're going to retry. A lot of confusion over something that was pretty simple.
Right.
Sorry about that, folks. Yeah. So we'll try it again. This is an important extra point because right now the game's a 7-point game. If you make this, it puts it at 8. Just makes things more difficult for the Eagles if this goes through. Snap back, clean hold. Nice kick is up. Kick is good. 8-point ball game. 21-13. Upset alert going on here from Robert Kalsu Stadium. We're going to take a quick break. 4:57 remaining in the third quarter. Dell City trails by 8. Stay with us on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
(21-13). Collinsville is leading Dell City here with 4:57 left to go in quarter number 3. Collinsville going to kick off from right to left on your screen. This is another high kick right at the sideline, going to be received by Dell City. Cut back. Look at this. On the loose. Kicker to beat. Beats him. Walter Franklin down the sideline. 35. 30. Cuts it back again to the 25. 20. Down to the 16-yard line. Walter Franklin with the spark that Dell City Eagles desperately needed.
That's how you do it right there, folks. Great return by Franklin on that one. Just a game changer, to say the least. And that's exactly what Dell City needs. That was the perfect play, perfect return by Franklin. I mean, we'll see now. We see the momentum shift in this game. If they could just capitalize on this score, this will put Dell City right back in the position that they need to be.
Look at the sideline. Totally different. Just a few moments ago, this Dell City sideline in unfamiliar territory, looking a little defeated. Now there's some life back on that sideline thanks to the return by Walter Franklin. He comes to the sidelines here. Looks like maybe possibly need to be stretched out a little bit. Tight formation for Dell City. Handoff to Rickland Holmes. Rickland Holmes fights his way forward, tries to pick up as much as he can. Winds up picking up a pretty good gain inside the 15. We're in the red zone. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Dell City.
Good push by the offensive line there to get Holmes a little bit more yardage than possible. But again, great patience on that return by Franklin to put them in position where they are now.
Our Red Zone sponsor brought to you by Bail Bonds by Tamra. Have you missed the ball on paying a ticket? Call Bail Bonds by Tamra at 405-200-5110. Dell City desperately needs a score. Sincere Overton not going to get the snap off. Going to be a false start again.
Wasn't quite set on that outside. The receivers are really not, getting to the ball as quickly as they want to. I'm not really sure who that false start was on. It may have been on Demai Oku.
Dell City now going to sub guys in. Looks like they wanted to try to play some power football, but now backed up to 2nd and 11 instead of 2nd and 5. That's a big penalty.
5-yard penalty makes it 2nd down and 11 from the 18-yard line.
Trying to run this quick play offense. That's kind of setting them up for some of these false starts. The receivers are really just not able to get set, and I think the quarterback really just has to check and make sure his receivers are set before he hikes that ball.
Overton going to run to the right side, trying to get some blockers, not getting much at all. Stuff for a loss. Back to the 21-yard line, 3rd and long coming up for Dell City. Boy, that return, and then the run by Rickland Holmes, and then again another penalty backs him up. It's like you take 2 to 3 steps forward, but a big step back.
Exactly, just a momentum killer, Colt. They had a good thing going. What we really got to do is, trust Sincere. That play was a little bit predictable. I kind of seen it coming before it would even got there. But this will be the perfect time to kind of utilize some of this speed that they have and try to get some of these receivers the ball on that outside.
This is 4-down territory. You can call whatever you want here if you're Dell City. You can call a run play if you want to Rickland Holmes.
Right.
Or you can try to throw it into the end zone. Let's see. Looks like they're going to choose to pass. Throws it to the near sideline, almost intercepted. It fell incomplete. Brings up 4th down and 13. That ball was really not even close. Looking for Josiah Chester. Just total miscommunication or possibly a bad throw. Couldn't tell which one.
Looks like even just Josiah Chester's having a conversation with the coach, but it really said he ran the deep route and then Sincere Overton threw it a little bit short. So I'm not sure if it was miscommunication or just the wrong play call in general.
Replays are brought to you tonight by Triple Elite Screen Printing. Find world-class designs and hot new styles at Triple Elite. Huge play for Dell City as they're going to take a timeout. Boy, this is their 2nd timeout of the half, trailing by 8. This makes this play even more important with 3:04 left to go in quarter number 3. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Fourth down and a long way to go. Dell City needs to get the ball down to the 7-yard line. They're backed up to the 21. 4th down. Overton, 4 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Back to pass to Sincere. Sincere with a 3-man rush. Has plenty of time. Throws over the middle into the end zone. It's caught! Touchdown, Dell City! Josiah Chester! Oh, sincerely did we need that from Sincere.
Very much so. Great patience shown by Overton on that pass. Able to find Josiah Chester for the great dish. Right in the end zone, straight to pay dirt. Great touchdown by the Dell City Eagles.
Robert Kalsu Stadium making a lot of noise. They're going to go for 2 here. They've got to keep their composure because this is an important play. I'm actually a little surprised Dell City's choosing to go for 2 now. Football's changed a little bit. It used to be you didn't go for 2 till you absolutely had to.
Right.
Now it's, hey, I want to find out what we need as this game goes forward. So a 2-point conversion, it's a big one. Overton the snap, cannot get it off. They're going to get another penalty. I think this is going to be a false start or a delay of game. Let's see.
Dell City got lucky on this one.
Actually, you know what, Gordy? I think you're right. Did they call this on Collinsville?
Did we have an offsides called? I'm not sure on that one.
Well, I saw a referee point towards the Cardinals. These referees have had a long conversation on almost every call tonight.
Right.
Almost as if they're not in sync. Inadvertent whistle.
Picking it up.
How does that happen?
Not really sure. He must have seen something. They kind of ran that play quickly, so I'm not sure if anybody was out of position.
Coach Jones is wanting to know, how do you do that? 2 referees threw a flag, and then you're going to call it an inadvertent whistle?
I want an explanation if I was Coach Jones as well. Well, until we wait to find out, great pass by Sincere Overton. That's what we like to see out of this kid, and that's what we knew that he possessed is, great accuracy and great timing. But what we see, from him was a lot of patience shown on that driving, great performance in the red zone by, the Dell City offense.
Explanation was given. Coach Jones accepted it. Going to have an officials timeout now. You know, I almost thought for a second there, Gordy, that maybe there was 12 men on the field.
Right.
Perhaps. And then maybe a guy got off. I don't know. That's weird. Now, the other thing that's weird is why are we getting an officials timeout here?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah, see, two different sets of referees having conversations. So, obviously, somebody's seen something.
But again, this is a huge play, and Dell City has an opportunity to tie this game up. But what about that catch from Josiah Chester, the throw from Sincere Overton? I mean, desperately needed.
Right.
Backs against the wall. They make the play. Now a huge two-point conversion.
Great position by Josiah Chester on that one. Able to shield off that defensive back and get his body in front. That way he gave Sincere Overton a clear path.
Overton running. Overton fights his way in. Tie ball game.
Way to get your head down, get it right into the end zone. Now we got a tie ball game tied up, 21-21. Dell City.
This is maybe the most uncomfortable I have felt Robert Kalsu Stadium in 3 years, maybe 4 years as I've been doing this. This crowd has been very uncomfortable.
Right.
They've been kind of groaning and moaning a little bit. Now they're making a lot of noise, lot of noise coming over here from this Eagles sideline. We're going to keep it here. 2:58 left to go in the third quarter. And that scoring recap brought to you by Madison's Country Cooking. Sincere Overton to Josiah Chester for the touchdown, then the two-point conversion from Sincere Overton. Remember, if you go to Madison's Country Cooking anytime this week, just tell them the code word is touchdown, and that'll get you 10% off of all purchases. And this kickoff is brought to you by the Dell City Chamber of Commerce. Of course, the Dell City Chamber of Commerce is where any business owner in Dell City should go. We appreciate the sponsorship. I also want to give another shout out to DC Transmissions, one of our other great sponsors. As this game is tied, it is tight, 2:58 to go. If you're just now joining us, we welcome you. This game may be closer than a lot of people thought. Coach Jones thought this game would be close. He kind of hinted at that before the game, and he was correct. Rickland Holmes, a line drive kick that's going to go straight out of bounds. You don't see Rickland do that a whole lot. No. Good field position coming for Collinsville. You know, it's funny, Gordy, this game feels like it's almost over because of how many swings there's been in this game.
Right.
But there's still a lot of time left. 2:58 to go in the third quarter. And now the only thing I will point out to you, Dell City only has one timeout remaining. Collinsville has 3.
This is where it gets interesting, Cole. This is my favorite part of the game, especially when you got a tie ball game. These are when both teams are really going to kind of, have to tighten up on, each of these mistakes that are being made. And, of course, Dell City's issue is the penalties. So, really what they really got to do is kind of be consistent on getting these stops. And, like we said before, Vaughn is on fire. So, if they can kind of get Vaughn to get out of sorts, out of rhythm a little bit and get a stop and kind of get that ball back in their hands, this will be something that could be in Dell City's favor. But what they really have to do is kind of buckle down on these receivers. So, let's see what Dell City defense is able to do against the Collinsville Cardinals.
You would almost wonder if they would try to turn Rickland Holmes loose on pass rushes. Have not done that yet. Here's a handoff to Rigsby, and Rickland Holmes is one of the men in there on that tackle. Gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8. But that is something that Dell City, I don't think, has done a lot tonight that would possibly change the game, is allowing Rickland Holmes to come off the edge, force those tackles to have to block him in passing situations. But to Collinsville's credit, the pass rush has been eliminated because they've gotten rid of the football so quickly.
Exactly. Being a good, decisive quarterback, that'll draw linebackers out of sorts every time.
Quick shuffle pass. Running to the right side. Good gain. Spins off a tackler. Rickland Holmes has to be the one to track down the receiver. It's a first down into Eagle territory to the 47-yard line. Boren on the carry.
Good tough run by number 2 on that one.
Collinsville now slowing down, looking to their sideline. Their play calling offensively has been pretty sharp tonight.
Pretty sharp and consistent, and I really kind of love what I'm seeing from those coaches. They're keeping the Dell City defense off balance, to say the least, doing a nice mix-up of passing, nice mix-up of runs.
Vaughn back to pass. Caught, completed to the 43-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4.
Not sure how many completions that is, in a row for quarterback Vaughn.
That's a lot.
But he's really on point. Throughout this game, he's really been pretty accurate. But since he's came out in the second half, he's absolutely been, on fire.
I think he's only thrown 1 incompletion, which was a drop in
Right.
the second half so far.
Right.
He has been remarkable tonight. Now, for Dell City, one thing I'm noticing is they've been beat on a couple deep balls maybe, but for the most part it's been the short passing game.
Right.
Does Dell City start to play a little bit more press, start to really take away those short passes? We'll have to wait and see. 2nd down and 6 coming up for the Cardinals. Hand off to Rigsby. Rigsby up the middle, picks up a couple, works his way to the 41-yard line. Again, gets to the second level. The linebackers have to clean it up. 3rd down for Collinsville. I'd imagine they have 2 plays to pick this up as long as they don't lose yardage. Playbook is wide open here.
Good chance for Dell City to get a stop right here.
Everyone on their edge of their seats right now. 40 seconds left to go in quarter number 3. Play clock winding down to 8. Need to get the ball to the 37-yard line. Hand off to Rigsby. Going nowhere. It is stuffed. It'll be 4th down for Collinsville now and a decision to make. If you don't get this, you give the Eagles good field position to go and take the lead back. If you do get it, well, then you put the pressure back on Dell City. Collinsville's going to take their time and think about this. I think they're going to let the quarter run out, and they'll start the 4th quarter with their decision. Or will they? They're rushing guys on the field. They're not going to have time to get it off.
Good stop by Daniels on that tackle, though. But what we see in it from Dell City, they're really getting a good push. Daniels looks to be hobbling a little bit, but, despite that, great stop on defense, able to hold Collinsville up for this 4th down.
All right, quarter number 4 coming up. When we come back, we'll send it down to Peyton Davis for an update. 21-21. Who would have thought? We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Loading onto our conveyor belt is incredibly low stress and easy. The conveyor belt can fit vehicles up to 96 inches wide, so even dually trucks can fit. As you approach the tunnel, use the large red balls as a visual to guide you onto the belt. Slow your vehicle down and follow the prompts on the screen. No more worrying about damaging your rims and tires with an old-fashioned chain and pulley system.
Try it out and love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rollovers.
If you've been in a wreck, don't hesitate to call us.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
When you call our firm, you're going to get one of us, not some paralegal or office manager.
Most lawyers, they take more money than their clients. Most of the time, a lot more.
We don't, and we guarantee it.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 4th down. After this play, we'll send it to Peyton here. We got rushed back. Sorry about that, folks. Start of the 4th quarter. It's a huge 4th down for Collinsville. Game is tied. Hard count by Collinsville, trying to get Dell City to jump. Did not work. Now Vaughn will back up as if he's going to punt the football away. Takes the snap, punts it. It's a line drive punt. Nobody back to field it. It'll take a Collinsville bounce to the 10-yard line and then roll sideways at the 9. The Eagles will be pinned deep at their own 9-yard line. Peyton, I know it's loud down there. If you can hear me, tell me what you're seeing, what you're hearing, what's the vibe like down on the sideline?
Definitely gotten some energy back to the sidelines after Walter Franklin had that huge return for the Eagles. But the crowd is also getting fired up over what they believe to be a few missed penalties on Collinsville. But beside those flags the Eagles have racked up, they need to keep that offense on track if they want to stay in the game, because the Cardinals' offense is not slowing down. These final 12 minutes are going to be about which team has the stamina and honestly just wants it more.
Right.
That's what. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's funny. She said that because here in the booth, we were kind of hearing some of the same things. That people in the audience were starting to get a little frustrated by some of the penalties that were being called. Is this going to be a handoff to Blackwolf? That's got to be a face mask, right? Everybody else saw it. No flag thrown.
I thought I saw a face mask. Not sure if he got a part of the jersey or not, but obviously they let that one slide. So
only a pickup of 1. They'll mark him up. Well, they'll actually give him 2. They'll give him the 11-yard line. Maybe there wasn't a face mask. I did not see a Dell City coach arguing, but, boy, I saw a bunch of people in the Dell City audience thinking, and I sure thought there was a face mask. 2nd and 8, Overton with Black Wolf in the backfield with him. Going to get backed up again, another false start. This time it's the left guard.
Starting to see a bit of a fatigue setting in with, anytime you get a lot of these false start penalties like that, when you got linemen moving around, that's just a big sign of fatigue. What they're really going to have to do is just relax, and run this play the right way.
Oh, they're not going to call a penalty. They're going to call a timeout, Collinsville. So there you go. We'll take another break. 21-21. A lot of confusion. Sorry about that, folks. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Important to note, there was no penalty on that play. So it was a timeout by Collinsville, still 2nd and 8 for Dell City. Back to passes Overton, has time, 3-man rush, going deep, heaving it for Josiah Chester. Chester, he was tackled, and there's the flag. Finally, they finally got that one. I was about to say, if they didn't call that, somebody would have to retire.
Right. Oh, a little bit on his back. I guess a little bit of a tug was necessary on that one. Josiah Chester had him beat on that one deep. Nice throw by Sincere Overton to try to get it out, but defensive back was able to slow him down just a little bit with the tug on the back of that jersey for the pass interference.
Good throw from good throw from Overton. It seems like Sincere starting to really get it going now. He made that big pass in the end zone. Sometimes that's all it takes.
That one was actually on point. The rhythm was good and actually had Chester, right in line, unfortunately. For that defensive back, he was able to put a little bit of tug, like we said before, and had the incompletion. But good for Dell City; they were able to get that pass interference penalty. Let's see if they can spread this ball out a little bit more.
Dell City with one receiver to each side. Overton with Rickland Holmes in the backfield. First down to the 26. Back to pass again is Overton. Quick pass, batted down at the line of scrimmage. He had Walter Franklin open on the near side on that hitch route, but it was just batted down at the line.
Defensive end read that perfectly, able to, jump up and kind of get in the pathway of that pass. Sincere really just didn't see him coming, able to jump right in that pathway. Luckily, he didn't come up with an interception on that one. Great read by Sincere Overton, but it's not always like it looks. It's not always going to be as it seems, so you really got to be decisive when you're making those throws.
Franklin in motion from left to right, sends doubles down to the right side. Overton going to run. Following Holmes on a block. Nowhere to go as he was crowd surfing for a moment.
A bit in the air on that one.
It'll be 3rd and 11. Want to remind you this fourth quarter brought to you by Bobby Lewis Insurance. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you. One in Choctaw, 405-281-6700. And the Dell City location, 405-670-3665.
They're able to use this read option, quite a bit, trying to get Sincere over to this right side. But what I really like to see is them kind of use this left side and utilize, the space of the field a little bit more. Sincere has great speed, so we need to try to get this kid out on the edge, where he can kind of get this defense off balance a little bit.
A lot of credit has to go to the defensive ends for Collinsville. They have not allowed things to get outside of them as we're going to get another whistle and a timeout, Dell City. That's their last timeout. Wow, 3rd and 11 with 10 minutes left. Folks, we're going to take another break, but the timeouts are running slim here. So hopefully not a whole lot more breaks. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Back live on the Oklahoma Sports Network. 3rd and 11 for Dell City. Trips to the left side. One receiver right. Black Wolf in the backfield with Overton. Overton back to pass. Has time. Offensive line does a good job holding up. Going deep. He's got Josiah Chester, and it just went over the wrong shoulder. Chester was breaking towards the middle, and the ball went over the left shoulder of Chester. A missed opportunity for Dell City. They'll have to punt it away with 9:59 to go.
That was a great play call by the play caller. Unfortunately, Sincere Overton not able to make that pitch and catch. It was one of those ones that I'm sure that he would probably like to have back. Colt had Josiah Chester wide open on that route too. One of those things when you're throwing up the middle, it's either way. It can go to the right or to the left. So you got to really throw that one over the top so your receiver can run right underneath that one. But hopefully they can get back to that play and make that one successful.
Holmes the punt. It's a line drive spiraling kick that bounces off the ground. Now it's going to be returned at the 30 and pushes his way forward to the 39-yard line. That's where Collinsville takes over, but there's a flag on the far side. The line judge threw it. The flag is sitting at the 44-yard line. We'll have to check it.
It's getting a little flag happy out there tonight.
Yes, it is. Both sides. There's been a lot of penalties. The Eagles have definitely had a lot of penalties, and that's something that we worried about. They're going to call a sideline warning on Collinsville. So, not much there. This Eagle defense has, had ups and downs tonight. They've given up 2 scores. One of them was a pick 6, so that's not on them. But they defensively have had their backs against the wall a little bit because Collinsville is running a really successful RPO, and their quarterback, only a sophomore, has played spectacular tonight, making lots of big-time throws.
Make some big-time throws, and I think what we've seen the last few weeks from all these other teams that Dell City has faced, they haven't really faced a passing game quite like this. The quarterback is really able to find those key players and receivers, and of course, like we said before, they have a really good balance in their offense. But Vaughn is just really doing a really good job controlling this game, and as a quarterback, especially somebody as so young as he is, he's really doing a really good job throughout this game by staying calm.
Vaughn and Rigsby in the backfield for Collinsville. Going to hand it off to Rigsby. Rigsby, so patient as he hits the hole. Finally decides on one and picks up 3 yards to the 42. Brings up 2nd and 7.
It's just almost like another day at the office for these two guys, for Rigsby and for Vaughn. These guys are being consistent throughout the game. They pretty much, have the same play call consistency, really not getting outside themselves. They're getting these plays called from the sideline, but just making really good decisions with the ball and, able to kind of protect the ball as well. No turnovers, besides, the interception earlier. But they're really doing, a really good job of staying consistent.
Another handoff to Rigsby. Rigsby picks up another couple of yards, pushes his way forward to the 44. Another big 3rd down coming up for the Cardinals. Just under 9 minutes left to go in this ball game. The pace has slowed some. There for a while, we were trying to catch our breath up here, as I'm sure you were at home. Now it's slowing down a little bit, as it seems like both teams don't want to make a mistake to cost themselves the ball game, but now 3rd down, you don't want to keep giving possessions to Dell City. That has to be the mindset for Collinsville.
Right.
You would think Dell City is bound to hit one of those deep balls eventually. They've had plenty of opportunities, just have not been able to sync them up. Collinsville, that's got to be a false start. Can't do that. And that'll back them up, make this more difficult. So it'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Cardinals.
Looked like they were looking to go in the air that time.
Important to remind folks, and they're going to call another inadvertent whistle.
Really? Interesting. Just like it looked like almost nobody was set on that one called.
I don't understand that.
Not really. I believe that, the receivers were the false start, that the penalty was on. But I think it's just, they're getting those calls from the sidelines. So they're not really able to get set before the ball is hiked.
That is the second inadvertent flag or whistle, whatever you want to call it, that we've seen tonight.
Seems to be throwing the referees off just a bit.
Interesting. So, again, 3rd and 5. We'll do it again. 8:07 left to go. Clock running still. Handoff Rigsby. Brought down from behind by Rickland Holmes. 4th down. Got it to the 45. They need the 49. Decision time for Collinsville. What will they do?
Good stop by the defensive line on that one. Rigsby looks to be a little bit shaken up on that one.
They will send the punt unit out. Dell City now being told by Coach Cox to be prepared for a fake. You could see it. Caleb Blackwolf, the dangerous return man, and Nicholas Holmes back at the 20-yard line, set to return this.
This is really, if you really can get a good block on, this is really, you want to use this opportunity to try to get as many yards out of this return as possible, but looks like they won't be able to do that.
It was a high kick. Blackwolf thought about catching it, decided otherwise, lets it bounce inside the 15 to the 14.
Great punt.
It was a great punt. Lots of hang time on that one. Dell City's offense has no timeouts. That's what I was going to mention earlier. They are out of timeouts for the second half. 21-21 our game, 7:14 left to go. If you're just now joining us, this game has been a momentum-swinging event.
Right.
We have had Dell City go up 13-0. They had 2 scores consistently, back-to-back. Had a touchdown run from Sincere Overton, a pick 6 from Nicholas Holmes, and then all of a sudden they lost every amount of momentum and sync that they had. And there went Collinsville. 3 unanswered scores, made it 21-13. 4th down and a long way to go. Sincere Overton finds Josiah Chester in the back of the end zone. Then a 2-point conversion ties the game. That's where we're at right now. Let's see if the Eagles can go get themselves the lead back. Overton and Holmes in the backfield. Overton going to pass on 1st down. Back to pass. No time. Had plenty of time. Throws it deep again for Josiah Chester. He had him. It was underthrown.
Almost quite like Groundhog Day, called what I'm seeing here. They ran this play quite a few times and unsuccessful on each one of them. Really, we know that this kid has a great arm in Sincere Overton. We know that Josiah Chester has great speed, but we also know Dell City is deep. So they got to try to use some of that depth, and try to, go along with the different play to try to get some of these players involved. I love the deep routes. I love what they're really trying to do. But when you got 1st and long, you really want to try to do everything you can to try to move that ball towards the 1st down marker.
2nd down, another run. This time it's Overton. Overton going to pick up a couple of yards up to the, let's call it the 18-yard line. They'll bring up 3rd down and about 6. Maybe 7, Only going to give him 3.
Decent run for a small gain, but it's a positive. So hopefully they can get these next 6 yards that they need. But Dell City really has to have a sense of urgency in getting this 1st down. Otherwise, they're going to give this ball right to Collinsville, in the best position.
Yeah, good. They'll have most likely good field position if they have to punt this away on a 3 and out. 6.5 minutes left to go. Overton out of the gun, back to pass. 4-man rush, plenty of time. Throws it out to Josiah Chester. It's a low throw, but it is caught by Chester. Huge 1st down, huge catch from Chester. They'll mark it at the 27-yard line, and the Eagles move the chains. Big play.
Big play. Almost came up just a little bit short, but good job by Josiah Chester getting those hips turned and getting right back to the ball and able to get those elbows underneath the ball and make a great possession for an Eagle 1st down.
Dell City now going to run with 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Holmes in the backfield. Sincere back to pass, going to run the exact same play. This time it's a good throw. Chester's on the loose because he makes a man miss. Now he's got a safety he's got to try to spin off of. Cannot do it, but gets past midfield to the 48. Another first down. Dell City wants to get tempo going now.
Great tempo, great pass, great pitch and catch. And this is just like we said earlier, Colt. This is all they have to do. They have the talent. All you got to do is get those balls in those wide receivers' hands, quickly. And one-on-one coverage, it shouldn't be anything for these Dell City guys to get yards, after these possessions.
Now the Cardinal defense trying to scramble. Going to be a run to the left. You would think this eventually would work, as this is going to be a tough run from Sincere.
Right.
Driving his body all the way to the 42-yard line. A good pickup on first down. It's going to be 2nd and 4.
Dell City seems to have something good going on this drive. What we really need to do is have them keep it up and stay consistent. That's the most important part.
5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the ball game. Eagles out of timeouts. Driving. They started this drive at their own 9-yard line. Now they're all the way to the Collinsville 42-yard line,
The thing about it is they have Collinsville right where they want them, Colt, on their side of the ball field. I mean, they can pretty much run any play that they want to out of this down here.
Quincy Hill checks into the ball game. He's in the slot. Overton back to pass. Plenty of time. Great protection from the offensive line. Going deep, and it closed fast. Flag comes down. Going to be pass interference. Looking again for Josiah Chester. Tell you what, that ball, that was a dangerous pass.
That was a dangerous one. They got a little lucky on that one. That ball was kind of floating out there, for anybody to get. But Josiah Chester, he is making really good moves on the inside, but kind of get over the top of those two defenders. But lucky for Sincere Overton, it wasn't an interception.
With all due respect to the secondary of Collinsville, they've really not been able to cover Josiah Chester all night long. Dell City's just not been able to connect with him. But he's been open pretty much every time they've looked for him. And that time he was open, the ball maybe was a little bit late.
Right.
But still, forces the issue and starting to cause this secondary to break down a little bit more than they already were. Dell City now inside the Collinsville 30 to the 27-yard line, getting close to the red zone.
Close.
4:54 left to go in the ball game. Overton with a receiver to each side. Caleb Blackwolf in the ball game with him in the backfield. He's going to take the carry. Blackwolf, not much room. Maybe got past the line of scrimmage for a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Not a lot of gain on that one, but really, really good push by the Collinsville, defensive line. Once again, Rigby, not only is he doing really good things on the offensive side of the ball, at the running back position, but playing this linebacker position, Rigby has been a force, kind of being disruptive, the entire night and able to kind of get, across that line as soon as that ball is hiked.
Yeah, he's probably been the star player of the game. They've had 3 guys really making the plays.
No
He's
doubt.
been one of them. Clock winding down. A little over 4 minutes left to go in the game. Overton back to pass. Throws to the right side. This ball is caught. Oh, just barely hit the ground. Walter Franklin, I thought, was able to keep it off the ground, and if he would have, he was going to be off and running to the end zone. Instead, it's an incomplete pass. It's 3rd and 9. It was really close. That referee had the best look at it. I trust his judgment.
Just a little too low.
There's been quite a few of those throws tonight for Overton. Just barely missed them. Just a little underthrown on those shorter routes, but overthrown on the deeper routes. Dell City's got 2 plays to pick this up. Do you try to get it to Blackwolf again on a run play? Maybe a screen play of some kind?
Like we said, on one-on-one coverage, they've pretty much had their way with the receivers. It's just not able to get these receivers the ball. And as we see them moving up, this will be the perfect time to try to utilize that speed. Get that ball out quick.
Blitz coming, picked up initially. Overton now has to avoid a couple guys. This is where Overton's dangerous. Stops, looks, and he's sacked. You could not take the sack there. Sincere Overton really needed to throw that ball away. Backs him up all the way to the 39-yard line with 3:49 left to go. Dell City, I think, probably has to punt this away now.
Right, Cole, just a tough decision by Sincere Overton on that one. Right, yeah, and, as fast they decided to go with the blitz, the Cardinals did on that play, trying to, disguising that just a little bit, kind of confused Sincere Overton. Actually, he thought he had a guy open. On plays like that, when you got receivers, kind of out and you got the linebackers blitzing, you have to kind of go with your first read. Unfortunately, Sincere was not able to kind of get outside of that one and unfortunately had to take the sack.
Recklin Holmes will come on the field to try to boot it away. Running clock, just over 3 minutes left. A high spiraling punt. That will land inside the 10, take a sideways bounce now. Going to roll inside and stop at the 5-yard line. Great punt from Rickland Holmes. If Collinsville's going to win the game, they're going to have a long way to go. 2:54 left to go in the game. Eagles out of timeouts. Collinsville here has to have a little bit of this mindset possibly of, hey, we want to be smart because we can at least get this game to overtime.
All right.
Or do you say, hey, listen, we have these guys, we have an opportunity to really beat this great football team here. Let's go do it right now. What do you think?
This is it. This is really the possession that Collinsville really has to decide if they want to win this ball game or not. And you hit it right on the head, Colt. You have to be aggressive, and that's the main thing. What I really didn't see on that last possession from the Eagles was the aggression. They had the aggression to get them, past that 50-yard line, but after that, they kind of went back to what they were doing before that wasn't successful. But now Collinsville has to decide if they want to win this ball game or not, and this is where they do it.
The only issue is if you're Collinsville, if you're too aggressive, a couple incomplete passes, then you have to punt it back to Dell City. So their first carry is going to be to Rigsby, and he's going to lose yards back to the 3-yard line. So now this makes things a little more interesting because a safety would almost cost you the ball game here, as we are going to have an Eagle shaken up on the play. It's one of those defensive linemen for Dell City, and boy, he's in a lot of pain. So we will take a timeout. 2:38 left to go in the ball game. 21-21. We're all tied up. Collinsville backed up to their own 3-yard line. If they're going to win it, they got a long way to go. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed, because your success is our success.
Download our free apps on Apple and Android devices. Plus, find us on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. Search Oklahoma Sports Network and watch from anywhere.
Loading onto our conveyor belt is incredibly low stress and easy. The conveyor belt can fit vehicles up to 96 inches wide, so even dually trucks can fit. As you approach the tunnel, use the large red balls as a visual to guide you onto the belt. Slow your vehicle down and follow the prompts on the screen. No more worrying about damaging your rims and tires with an old-fashioned chain and pulley system.
Try it out and love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. Arnico Daniels was the Eagle shaken up. It did appear, just to make you feel better, we don't normally try to talk about injuries, but it did look like it was a cramp. They were rubbing on his hamstring there, so it looks like that's what it was. 2nd down and 12 coming up from Collinsville. They're at their own 3. Handoff again to Rigsby. Rigsby this time has a hole up the middle. He's got the first down up to the 17-yard line. Boy, Dell City had them in kind of no man's land, and now Collinsville. Now this is where they can start to run their offense a little bit. You get the first down, you get the momentum going. Now if you pick up another first down, they're going to start really trying to get it rolling here. Clock stops momentarily. Sorry, Gordy, go ahead.
No, you're fine. No, I was going to say, Colt, they had a lot of, had a great breathing room there. Rigsby able to move it right up the middle again with that dive play. They're doing a really good job, of getting that push and using that fullback to kind of get Rigsby, the amount of space that he needs.
Gets it to the 21, pick up a 4. 2:38 left to go. The clock did not start on that snap.
No, it didn't.
It is still stopped.
It is still stopped.
Not sure why. That's what Coach Cox and Coach Jones are down there trying to tell the sideline official. Clock still not moving. Another handoff up the middle, Rigsby. Another good gain out to the 25-yard line. Just about 1.5 yards short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd down. You can see the kicker for Collinsville on the far side starting to get his leg loose.
Right. Well, while we're waiting for the clock to start back up, we can see that Collinsville has decided to be a little conservative on this drive.
So our clock here on this far side, we're going to look at this. We've got 1:18 left to go in the game. Handoff up the middle. It is going to be close to the first down marker, and they are going to give Collinsville the first down, it looks like, with 1:11 left. So you at home, actually, you did not lose the clock. The clock kept moving for you. We were looking at our fancy scoreboard at the south end zone. The clock you're looking at is actually on the north end zone, and it's hard for us to see it. But I am leaning over now. 1:11 left to go in the ball game. First down, Collinsville again. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. This is where they might start to put the ball in the air. They will. Back to pass. Man open. Over the middle. Intercepted by Nicholas Holmes at the 50. Nicholas Holmes to the 40. He's got blockers in front of him. Nicholas Holmes out of bounds at the 15-yard line with 55 seconds to play in the game. Robert Kalsu Stadium going absolutely crazy. Oh, baby.
Nice. That's exactly what you need. Second one of the night, second interception, second return.
Boy, that ball was underthrown. Had that ball been led, it would have been a touchdown the other way. Instead, Dell City now with 55 seconds left to go in the red zone has a chance to win it. Quick snap to Overton. Overton running right. Spins off a tackler. Up the middle, tripped up inside the 10 to the 6. Overton was so close to putting it into the end zone. Clock running. 42 seconds left to go. Dell City running the hurry-up offense. They still have a first down to get to the 5. Overton takes the snap again. Going to run it again to the right. In between the center and the guards. Gets the first down. That's important because it stops the clock to reset the chains. 32 seconds left to go in the game. Dell City on the verge of winning if they can punch it into the end zone here. Overton out of the gun. Going to do the same thing. Overton to the right. This time there's nowhere to go. He gets tackled for a loss to the 6. Second down. The sticks are wrong. It's second down. Clock running. 20 seconds. Dell City running out of time here. They've got to hurry. Taking too much time.
No time left. They really got to get this ball out of as quick as
13,
possible.
12. Spikes it. Now it's third down with 11 seconds to go.
Wasted a lot of time on that down. Kind of had them right where they wanted to. Actually lost a little bit of yards on that last possession. Really, about 10 seconds left to get it in the end zone. Let's see if Dell City can do what they need to do to get this win. But great save of the day by Detective Holmes on that last interception.
Now, for Dell City right now, I don't think you want to kick the field goal yet. For me, I would try to throw a ball up in the air to Josiah. Let Josiah go catch it. This ball has to be thrown into the end zone, though. You cannot take a sack. That will send this game into overtime if there is a sack.
There's no better time than right now to utilize. You got one-on-one coverage to each side and talented receivers. You got to do what you kind of do to get these guys the ball.
Overton throwing a jump ball near side. One-handed catch! Josiah! They stopped the play. There was a whistle. Oh, my gosh. Collinsville called a timeout right before the play. Otherwise, that would have been the catch of the year for Dell City.
Beautiful one-handed catch by Josiah Chester. Unfortunately, Collinsville was able to get that timeout right before the ball was hiked.
Oh, I didn't even hear the whistle. Oh, boy, could this night get any crazier? While we've got a second, I'm going to tell you about our Red Zone sponsor. It's Bail Bonds by Tamra. Have you missed the ball on paying a ticket? Call Bail Bonds by Tamra at 405-200-5110. 15-plus years of serving the community. Also want to give a shout-out to our fourth quarter sponsor, Bobby Lewis Insurance. Surprisingly great rates with 2 locations to serve you in Choctaw and in Dell City. So here we go. Here we go. We'll do it again.
Just one that you would really like to have back on that one. Such a great pass and such a great catch. Unfortunately, they couldn't make up that one. So let's see if they can do it again, Colt.
Well, the referees are having a discussion here. I don't think Dell City realizes it. They're about to
They're ready to go.
I think they're discussing what down it is. It should be third down because they spiked the ball on second down. The sticks were never correct, but that does make a little bit of a difference, but not a bunch with 13 seconds left. The only thing it might add is Dell City might get 2 opportunities into the end zone instead of 1. You know, it is important to note that this is an official's timeout, but Dell City has struggled with extra points all year.
Yes.
From this distance, it is about an extra points distance, a little longer, not much.
But something that's definitely makeable if that's what they choose to do. But we've seen before, they have great receivers, so they decide to go along with this one-on-one coverage and take advantage of this opportunity that they have all the right to do it, and I'm sure we'll see them. They got plenty of time to get one pass off. Really what Sincere has to do is really be decisive and be cautious on where he's letting that ball go to, because what you really want to do is put the ball in the hands of the other team.
I think the referees want to add time to the clock potentially. That might be part of what they're discussing here, because it looks like Coach Cox is on the phone now. They're trying to wave him down. So there is something to do with the clock here before we can get started.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. This game's been filled with confusion. Why should it change now? Third down, backed up to the 6. Dell City again has no timeouts. 11.2, that was what they were wanting. 11.2 seconds remaining. Chester again, going to throw it. Up for Chester, man-to-man. Chester makes the catch! No, he dropped it. He dropped it late. Incomplete. I thought he had it. He had it initially, and I think the defender stripped it away late.
Had it right in his possession. The ball, unfortunately, was able to kind of pry it out as he was hitting the ball. The defensive back made a great play on the ball as Josiah Chester was making it to the ground and able to get that ball and punch it out right as Josiah Chester was hitting that turf.
Man, I thought he caught it.
He had it. It was dead right in that basket, but as right as he hit the ground, that ball was squirting it out.
So it'll come down to this. Jordan Ely. We'll have to wait as Collinsville is going to take their final timeout to ice the kicker. But it's going to come down to the leg of Jordan Ely. If he makes it, Dell City will take the lead. 7.1 seconds left to go in this game. If he makes it, there might still be a couple seconds left. If he misses it, it almost guarantees that we are going to have overtime here from Robert Kalsu Stadium.
Right. This is a position that as a kicker you would love to be in. You can't write a better script than that. Dell City is putting themselves in great position at the end of this ball game to go ahead and take it off with the W. But it's going to come down to the wire, folks, and what we really want to see is Dell City be able to kick this one through.
I still can't get over that. I thought Josiah Chester had that ball.
Oh, my goodness. It can't get any better than that, right in that basket.
The ball was thrown about as perfectly as it can get, like you said. The play before that, threw it to Josiah Chester, and he made an unbelievable one-handed catch.
My goodness.
But they called timeout prior to the play. This game has just been filled with emotions.
Right. Phenomenal plays, both of those. Phenomenal play by the defense, able to get that ball away from Chester. I know Chester is kicking himself right now. I really wish he could have that one back. But here we go. Let's see what the Dell City can do on this possession.
Quincy Hill will be holding. Let's see if Jordan Ely can do it. Everybody on their feet here at Robert Kalsu Stadium, both sides. Flags are thrown. We got a false start on Dell City before the kick was going to get off here. This is going to make this more difficult for Jordan, and this might make Coach Jones rethink this. We'll have to see. Dell City is saying this should be on Collinsville. If it's on Collinsville, this will make this kick a little easier. And in fact, would make it the exact distance of an extra point. It's on Collinsville. How about that?
Great turnout for Dell City on that possession.
Just keep adding to it.
Right.
So it's not much of a penalty. It'll move it inside the 5. half the distance to the goal to the 3-yard lines where they're going to put it. So this is the exact distance of an extra point for Jordan. Jordan is 1 for 2 tonight on extra points. Missed the first, made the second. Snap down, hold good, kick up, kick is good! It's good! Jordan Ely with 3.9 seconds left to go gives Dell City the lead.
Great kick by Jordan Ely on that one. We actually seen this kid warming up earlier, and he was pretty automatic. Blake and I were kind of discussing some of his warm-up routine. I mean, it's like some of these things that you see some of these kids, they do day in and day out. But when you get in that moment, you never know what it's going to turn out like. Great kick and great nerves by Jordan Ely for the game, hopefully the game-winning kick.
Now the Dell City coaching staff doing a terrific job. The game is not over here, folks. 3.9 seconds left to go. You've still got to cover this kick. The coaching staff has done a great job of calming down the players. So this is going to be an ever so important kickoff here, and it is brought to you by the Dell City Chamber of Commerce. The Dell City Chamber of Commerce is where the trusted resource for advocacy, education, and engagement to help you improve your business.
What a great game.
Kick coverage now for Dell City. If they're able to cover it, most likely that'll end the game. Now, if you're Collinsville, do you call a fair catch? Would you rather your offense get out there to run a play, or would you rather just try to run it back here, Gordy?
I think we've seen Rigby, have some really good returns tonight. But he really hasn't been able to break anything past that 50-yard line. So I probably would see the coach kind of fair catching and see if they can give their, guys a shot to have Vaughn throw the ball down deep.
Rickland Holmes is going to be the kickoff guy, as he has been all season long. Do you squib it here?
Definitely
or do you just
a short
kick it
kick.
deep, you think?
I'll
Short
definitely
kick?
go with a shorter kick, see if I could get it right to about the, between the 30-yard line and the 40-yard line. That way we can use our speed to kind of trap these guys right in the middle. But you really got to close down in that middle and not allow any runner to run up the middle on you.
No timeouts remaining for either team. Not that really matters at this point with 3.9 seconds left to go. Holmes the kick. It's a line drive kick that's going to be returnable for Rigby. Boy, I don't know if that's what you wanted. Rigby gets the return past the 30, brought down. Time has expired. Dell City with a dramatic win. 3-1 on the season, 1-0 in district play as Dell City 24, Collinsville 21. On the leg of Jordan Ely, the Eagles pick up their first district win and will head to Tulsa next week to face Tulsa Memorial.
Congratulations to the Dell City Eagles on such a convincing victory on this one. It was a hard-fought battle between both of these teams. I mean, a great show for me and Cole to be able to witness, but great job by Jordan Ely able to finish it off, and great job by the Dell City Eagle offense and defense to stay consistent, able to come up with the victory in the end. Great game, Cole.
Boy, don't you love football season?
Yes.
Back-to-back wins for Dell City over Collinsville, but a totally different game from last season. Last season, Dell City defeated the Cardinals in Collinsville 61-10. Collinsville came in with revenge on their minds, and I'll tell you what, they almost had it. They put Dell City in a bad spot, 21-13, 3 unanswered scores. And the Eagles responded. A huge fourth down touchdown pass from Sincere Overton to Josiah Chester, and then the 2-point conversion to follow that was important. That tied the game. And then Jordan Ely wins it with his leg. How about that?
How about that? Great win. And way to stay in the game. It's easy to, fold when your back is against the wall, when you got a team that is just not laying down like the Collinsville Cardinals. But Dell City able to kind of protect that home field advantage and get it all the way to the end where they were able to come up with that victory. Great job by this team.
We're going to take a quick break, folks. When we come back, we're going to have an interview with head coach Robert Jones. We're also going to have an interview with our Robert Kalsu Legacy Group Player of the Game. Dell City 24, Collinsville 21. We'll be right back on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Have you ever seen an insurance commercial and asked yourself, are they really telling me the truth? Well, guess what? They're not.
Somebody runs a red light and you think all of a sudden their insurance company's going to be all neighborly about it? Insurance companies aren't in the business of saving you money. They're in the business of keeping your money.
So remember, save our number in your phone so when tragedy strikes, call Rob and Will.
At Tommy's Express Car Wash, we know how to love your ride. Try the Works Wash with our signature 14-step cleaning process, engineered to shine and shield your car from the elements. From breaking down dirt and bugs with our Detox Pre-Wash to restoring your vehicle's finish with our ceramic body wax. Give your car the best with our Top Wash. Then complete the clean with free vacuums and mat washers. Download our app and get your first 30 days of the works for free. Tommy's Express. Love your ride.
Last year, 35% of all auto accident deaths were rolling.
This is why you need our number in your phone. This could be you.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
College is more than just going to class. College is a journey. It's meeting new people and making new friendships that will last a lifetime. It's learning from professors who care about you and your success. And finding out it can be really fun and rewarding. It's discovering that thing you want to do for the rest of your life. Cameron University is all about helping you grow and succeed. Because your success is our success.
Loading onto our conveyor belt is incredibly low stress and easy. The conveyor belt can fit vehicles up to 96 inches wide, so even dually trucks can fit. As you approach the tunnel, use the large red balls as a visual to guide you onto the belt. Slow your vehicle down and follow the prompts on the screen. No more worrying about damaging your rims and tires with an old-fashioned chain and pulley system.
Try it out and love your ride.
If you've lived in Oklahoma long enough, you'll know that we get extreme weather. With that extreme weather comes hail damage to your roof and an insurance claim. When that happens, there's not a better company to deal with on your insurance claim than Cantrell Roofing and Construction. Since 1987, Cantrell Roofing and Construction has proven to be the best in the business. And always remember, got hail? Call Cantrell.
Welcome back to the Oklahoma Sports Network. What a fun ball game tonight. Dell City wins it 24-21. A game-winning field goal for Jordan Ely. How about that? That's pretty cool. Peyton Davis, our sideline reporter, is down on the field, and she's going to have an interview here in just a few moments with the head coach, Robert Jones, also our player of the game. Our player of the game tonight, I believe, is going to be the kicker, Jordan Ely. So Coach Jones has joined Peyton. So, Peyton, I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to send it straight down to you with head coach Robert Jones. Oh, not yet. We're going to take one more second here. He's going to talk with his player of the game, and now we're ready. All right, go ahead and take it away, Peyton.
Right.
Here we
Obviously,
go.
a lot of fun there in the last seconds of that game. What did it show you about this team's resilience?
Well, it showed me that, we got CDEP on the back of our jersey. So the last couple of years, we just been blowing people out and winning big. So when that happens, naturally your players aren't used to playing in close games. And I told them all week, I said, man, we're walking around, we're kind of arrogant. And it starts with the coaching staff. Even the coaching staff thought we could just show up and win the game. I said, guys, I got a feeling. I told our guys at warm-up, I said, I got a feeling that they outcoached us this week. I just got it. My intuition made me feel like they outcoached us, and we're in for a dogfight. And it showed. In that third quarter, we had our backs against the wall. And I told our guys that we've been talking about controlling your attitude and effort, and I feel like our guys did that all game. And we got in the fourth quarter, and it showed up. So we talk about CDEP, so CDEP showed up in the fourth quarter.
What do you hope the players take from this game tonight?
Well, I hope they take that. First of all, nobody's going to lay down to you. You're going to have to show up and play regardless if you got DC on your helmet or what. But also understand that no matter what the score is, you keep fighting and you keep doing what we're made, show what we're made of, and stick to the standards that you have developed over the last couple of years with the CDEP, playing with attitude and effort, and just believing in one another even when things don't go our way. And it's good sometimes to play in these close games because it gets you prepared as we progress through the district onto the playoffs.
And then going into next week, what is one thing that you're really going to be focusing on in practice?
Well, we got to get Sincere Overton back in game speed. He had a rough night throwing the ball. He missed some throws that he usually makes, but this was his first game of the season. You can obviously tell that the timing was off a little bit with the receivers. And then we got to get better up front. They really control the line of scrimmage with the offense and defensive line. They kind of whooped up on us a little bit, and we're not used to that. So we got to get back to the drawing board and figure out what's going on and get back tough. And we got to be able to run the ball. We got two great running backs, and if we can't run the ball with those guys, then it's going to be a long season.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Hello. How does it feel being player of the game?
Feels amazing. I just saw the team needed help. Clutched it up in the fourth for them. Feels amazing. First time of the season. Just feels great.
Walk me through lighting up for that last kick. What was going through your head?
Fully confidence. Full time, I'm just like, all right, I got this. I'm scoring this. I do this all the time in practice. This is light work to me. So it was kind of just like another day at practice, another day at work.
Awesome. Congratulations on tonight's game.
You.
That's awesome. Gordy Jones going to present the Robert Kalsu Legacy Group Player of the Game. And Jordan, you've earned it, my friend. Great job. Great job down there on the field tonight from Peyton Davis. We are so excited that she joined us tonight. Whenever she got here, we our headsets were not working, so she's had to hold her phone up to her ear all night long. She's been a trooper. She's really an up-and-coming sideline reporter. You'll see her on ESPN at some point, I'm sure. We appreciate her joining us tonight. Hopefully she'll join us again down the road this season. She was part of a good one tonight. Dell City moves to 1-0 in district play, 3-1 on the season. A huge win puts them in the driver's seat in this district over Collinsville. Jordan Ely, the player of the game, with a huge kick. And, folks, I want to thank you at home for joining us. Always a special shout-out to all of our military men and women who can't make it to the games. We appreciate your service. We also appreciate it to anybody who can't make it to the games for whatever else the reason may be. We thank you for tuning in and always enjoy bringing these games to you. And other than that, folks, I think that's all we got. From Colton Fleetwood, Gordy Jones, Blake Unruh, Jacoby Brosi, Cedric Brosi, all of our crew here at the Oklahoma Sports Network says we'll see you next week against Tulsa Memorial in Tulsa. So long, everybody.
Celebrating 10 years. We are the Oklahoma